don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
Good morning. Saturday morning sports talk. You timed that just right because I had a mouthful of Mitchum's Kitchen. Carson Dockery, Kevin Hastings, and Terry Reinhardt in here on a Saturday morning. What's that?
I've never seen this.
That's a giant bearded banana that's making its way out of the studio.
Terry, is this your friend?
Terry, is that yours?
He followed me here and said he wanted to be part of the program.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough.
There you go.
You know, normally you see bananas in a bunch, so the one-off, I think that's what threw me off. Probably. I could see it. Terry's a man who likes bananas. I'm entirely sure.
I do like bananas.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with a good source of potassium.
There's nothing wrong with that, and you have your bananas, and you got some mayonnaise, and then you take
Oh, God. Terry, you ruined it. Oh,
I mean, then
God.
you take your bread, and you put some mayonnaise on it and make a banana sandwich. I'm telling you.
Oh, Terry.
It's all good.
There are so many better ways to enjoy a banana.
Peanut butter be a
And
whole
put
lot
cheese on it. You
Good
can put
Lord,
cheese.
Terry.
I'm telling you.
Bananas, mayonnaise, and where? Oh, man. You threw off my whole line of thought when you said not only mayonnaise with bananas, but cheese.
Put it all together.
Are we talking like just like a slice of like a Kraft single
I'm gonna tell you something else you can do. You can even put peanut butter on there.
on top of all that?
Yes.
Dear Lord, Terry.
Yeah, I've seen peanut butter and bananas.
See?
Yeah, no, peanut butter and banana is perfectly reasonable, but peanut butter, banana, mayonnaise, and cheese.
You gotta put the mayonnaise if you're gonna put your peanut.
That's right. See?
Good God, what is wrong with you people?
Welcome to Sports Talk.
I'm with Carson on this, okay?
Thank you, JP.
The peanut butter and banana,
Good.
fantastic.
You don't need
But-
to mess it up.
Yeah.
It's done.
But you add
but I
cheese
wouldn't
and
put the peanut butter
mayonnaise,
with the
it's going to
mayonnaise.
destroy the
Ruined it.
whole thing.
Ruin it.
Now, banana and mayonnaise is good. Banana and peanut butter is good. Have you ever had? You eat tomato sandwiches?
I'm not that big on tomatoes either, to be honest.
Tomato and there's nothing better than tomato and mayonnaise.
Well, yeah, no, I know a tomato sandwich. I just don't like
Amen.
tomatoes.
Preach
when
it.
it's hot in the summer and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Terry, we got scores to go over
Yeah, we
today.
do.
We've got a new top 10 to go over today. It's been 3 days of football.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Everybody up in the front
lost
lost.
around here this morning.
Well, or didn't play.
Who? Well, yeah, 13 knew the
Bump 'em
hurricane was
all
coming
down.
before the season and decided not to play today.
Let's see.
Or play this week. So, Terry,
Uh,
you're not in the top 5
Kevin,
yet.
Kevin, I
You're not in the
look
top
at this
5.
poll. I'm telling you how I look at this poll.
Well, yeah, I don't care.
Number 1 did not play.
Okay.
Number 2 did win, so they should be number 1.
They might be.
Number
Probably.
3 lost.
They might fall.
You know, number
Should.
4 won. Number 5
Well, they might
lost.
move
Number
up.
6 lost. Number 7 lost.
Okay.
So, Terry, you're looking at number 2.
We're
maybe
number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's done correctly.
You're basing a lot of math being right.
Shannon, are you up? Are you listening to
Oh,
me?
Well, you know Shannon's up because we all got a text this morning. So
Yeah,
I don't know
he
if
let
ever
us
went to
know
bed
about
last
that.
night. He was standing on the sidelines last night. He had his pom poms and a skirt on for Shelby. And
I
Kings
figured he
Mountain
did.
last night. It was so cute.
I can see it. I can see it.
He had his boy there, CJ, last night. I want to say hello to him as well. He was on our cover a couple weeks ago with Gabe DeVoe. Saw former Shelby quarterback last night in stands, Malik Surratt. Said hello to him last night. And it was a big night for the Golden Lions. You know, as far as Kings Mountain goes, probably a lot of disappointment, not what they expected, Terry. They thought this was going to be a big win. You know, the Kings Mountain has not won in Shelby. Do you know the year? I didn't.
1986.
Dang it! You ain't supposed to say it before I said it. I
Yeah,
do.
no. He said
See,
it on
stole my thunder.
He said it on Thursday, man.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
then he knew he already had it. So
Yeah.
1986. So
Last time they beat Shelby was in 2010.
Raquelin Mack was back in the lineup last night, and
Did he start or?
No, he didn't start.
Okay.
But he did come in and he got a bunch of carries. But the thing about it is that Shelby's been, I think the turnover battle. I think Jeff said for the game was 10-2 so far this season the other way. So they've lost the turnover battle, and then last night they dominated the turnover battle. High school football, you get 4 turnovers or any football you get 4 turnovers.
Yeah.
Football.
But in a game that where you're supposed to be close games anyway, and a battle, you get 4 turnovers, And I'm not going to name who it was, but a Kings Mountain person at the game yesterday before the game mentioned someone asked how Kings Mountain was doing this year, and they got talked about Mac or whatever, but and the Kings Mountain person was like, and I've been making the point all season that Kalen Wade's the best quarterback around here right now. Last night he had a bad game. And before the season, before the game last night, the guy jinxed him. I didn't even call him out on it. He said something. I heard him behind me in my ear say something. Well, he's kind of played a perfect season. He ain't really thrown a pick. He said he hasn't thrown a pick, and I can't remember any fumbles getting lost. And I was like, oh, God.
You're asking for
two
it.
picks and a couple fumbles later.
You're asking for it. Yeah, you say that.
It was gosh, but he wasn't. He wasn't a coach or anybody like that. It was a Kings Mountain fan talking, and I was just like, oh, you just jinxed me. But I didn't turn it around and even say it then, and I turned around and there it just happened, and you're in a hurricane, calm before the storm, but it was beautiful skies. The colorful skies there before the game started. About halftime, the wind started. The wind really picked up, and the rain started coming in like Forrest Gump style from the side. It wasn't like really wet. It was just kind of like a mist machine, like at Carowinds or something that you walk through. So it was kind of like that for the most part. But Shelby, they came to play. Like a couple weeks ago, Burns. Everyone said they played inspired against Shelby. It was kind of the same thing from what I saw. Another couple other people pointed out. The things that Kings Mountain does good, so does Shelby to match up. You know what I mean? Like they're not overmatched in one way or the other. And I think one thing that Shelby is underestimated right now, just because they haven't got their offense going, their defensive backs and their wide receivers are actually pretty good. And when they get the ball in space, they make plays. And when the DBs last night, you've got Pacehour out there and Britton, who have been just shredding defenses. And last night, Carson, they put the shutdown on them really for for most of the night, and I thought they did a great job. Every time there was a ball, it seemed like two Pacehour. If there wasn't two people there when the ball was there, after he did catch it, they were there. So there was a concerted effort. It seemed like the DBs to do that, and they got the speed to do it. So great game last night, good win for Shelby, and we're going to talk about where that puts them in the top 5 in just a minute, in the top 10. Not top 10, the top 20 or 30 that we do here in our Power Poll. All right, Terry, you ready for scores?
Yeah, I'm ready. All righty. Here we go.
Why don't you go ahead and give some? Good morning.
All right, on the far end, number 1 ranked in the 2A bracket. As High Brighton, they had no trouble with Newton Conover, 63-19. Newton Conover hung around there at the start. At one time, it was 26-19, but then High Brighton pulls away easily. It was Bandy's losing to Hickory on Wednesday night, 28-27. It was a battle of a running game from Bandy's against a passing game from Hickory, and Hickory comes back to win 28-27. South Caldwell picks up their first victory of the year with a 50-32 win over RS Central. It was Fred T. Ford picking up their first victory of the year with a 38-22 win over St. Stephen's, and it was North Iredell defeating West Iredell 10-9.
And on the next board, West Lincoln stays undefeated, Terry, with a 48-0 win over East Burke. On Wednesday night, Union Academy had no trouble with Northside Christian 28-6. Thomas Jefferson also stays undefeated with a 49-18 win over Calhoun Falls Charter. Drawn falls to Avery County 28-32. And West Wilkes with the shutout of Bunker Hill 21-0.
It was Clover defeating Ashbrook 40-18. Not surprised at who won, but surprised at the margin of victory in that game. It was Highland Tech going to 3-0 for only the second time in school history as they defeated Christ the King 50-6 on Wednesday night. It was South Point again, no trouble with Stuart Kramer, 33-7. Sometimes you get too pumped up. We was talking about that, and this might have been one of them games. South Point jumped out, and then they just pulled away.
Well, yeah, I mean, at a certain point, Kramer last year was finally able to say, hey, we scored on them. And I think this year they thought this could be the year that they win. South Point, not necessarily a bad South Point team, but, not probably the bar that they're used to setting for themselves. But 33-7. I think Nassim Jones had over 250 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. It just seems like until Kramer does it, it's going to be tough to pick them against South Point, really.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was East Rutherford, no trouble with Patton, 34-7.
And then on the final board, North Lincoln with a 20-6 win over Bessemer City. Burns with a good game, 56-55 over Hendersonville. They were behind early, came back. I mean, that's a lot of offense, Terry. 111 points in a game.
That was a game there that we sat here and we watched the end of it. And again, 56-55. Hendersonville come out, and I kept saying you go for two. And I know a lot of people, when you're at home, okay, let's just tie it up. But neither team could stop each other. And I thought for sure Hendersonville would go for two. They did not. Coach elected to go out there. But when they got out there on the field and they hiking the extra point, it seemed like it took forever, like they just waited and waited and waited. And then when the guy finally let go of it, it hit the ground in front of him.
Yeah.
And he couldn't scoop it up, and they couldn't get it down. And Burns comes out with a 56-55 win.
I want to, a couple of things about that. If you got to watch the game, it was just outstandingly fun to watch the game. It's one of our. I'm not going to say the best, most exciting. It may have been top 5. Definitely top 10 on KTC that we might have ever had, Terry. Especially when you count the points that we had. It was just such a good game. Now, as far as that goes, we've had a lot of games here on KTC in the past few years where teams go for two at the end and don't make it. So this coach though does at home, and like you said, you started to put 55 points on the board. You think you can get the 2 yards, right? So there's that to consider. Also, I'm going to say this as here's some of the positions I played, not all in 1 year, but over the years in high school. So all defensive back positions, 2 linebacker positions, quarterback, wide receiver, played running back a couple of times. The hardest thing, kicker for extra points and kickoff, punted. The hardest thing I thought I ever had to do was to catch a snap, have it down in time for that kicker, and have it straight for that kicker to hit. And then, of course, at that time back in when I was in high school, Ace Ventura was pretty fresh in everyone's mind. So the only thing you could ever think about is Laces Out and Ray Finkel. And that's the only thing I could ever think about. So, not only that, I always thought it was the hardest thing, one of the hardest things to do. And I also like having someone that can throw in that position. So if I did drop it, if it is a bad snap, if it's behind you, you can't control the snap. If it's a bad snap, you can't get it down. So I could always stand up and dump it to somebody, hopefully, or even put someone really fast, there. I always thought wide receivers would be good there at certain points because they got such supposed to have hands and they're catching those balls all the time. It's always weird to me why the backup quarterback's in there in the NFL catching it when you got 5 wide receivers everywhere. Why is the 5th wide receiver not the holder?
Yeah.
So anyway, things like that. But to consider, they don't go for it. Burns wins. So great win for them. And I think I've got everything settled here in the top 25-30. Terry, you ready?
Well, let's finish.
Yeah, we got.
I thought y'all weren't done.
No,
I'm sorry.
just about.
I thought y'all were done.
On Wednesday night, Weddington comes out on top of Crest for their first loss in Union County since 2015 with a 31-21 win. East Lincoln with no problem over East Gaston 49-9. And then last night, the only game, the big Friday night matchup, Shelby 28-23 over Kings Mountain, and Kings Mountain has not beaten Shelby in 8 years now, Terry.
Yeah, it's a while, and sometimes when we come in here, and I always talk about tradition. When you continuously beat somebody, again, we spoke of that at Stuart Kramer. We speak of this at Kings Mountain. Hey, we haven't won in Shelby since 1986. This is an opportunity, and you cannot get it done. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're going to turn the ball over, and we'll both say, all of us said this. If you're going to turn it over that many times, you're not going to win anyway.
Yeah, ever. You shouldn't. Yeah.
But, I mean, that's how it goes. And these other games that's coming up this year, that one team just dominates another one. And sometimes you get too pumped up to play that game. You got to you got to believe that you should be there and able to play with them. And you cannot get too pumped up to play.
Yeah. Real quick, Terry, I just want to talk about Highland real quick. I mean, 3-0, as you said, for the second time in school history. Coach DeLeo, coming from Harding University, the state championship last year, he's the offensive line coach, so you're obviously going to get pretty good line play. I mean, Highland Tech is a team that you can't count on size. It's a lottery school, so it's a lot of different things. But, Highland, I think they could be probably should be the most surprising 3-0 team this year.
Crank it up, JP, for a second. You know what this is? world. The Rambling Wreck from Highland Tech. We're going to beat the you know what out of you. 3-0, Carson.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'd be playing if I was the band. I'd be learning that real quick at Highland Tech. Wouldn't you, Terry?
Mm-hmm.
The Rambling Wreck from Highland Tech. That's the Georgia Tech song there. Play a little bit of that. Highland Tech 3-0. Ended outstanding here early on. We're going to talk about them. If you look, they're in the top 10 a minute ago. Let's see if they stay there after this week. That was after Wednesday night's games. We made some adjustments to get ready for Friday, and so I'm actively updating there. I had to play a little music for Highland Tech.
Oh yeah, had to. Well, I mean, Highland Tech on top of all that, they've got a pretty good senior class. It's deep. You've got Caleb Foster, the running back, Caleb Hill in a quarterback. And they're not afraid to move the ball around. They're running that wing T offense. So, I mean, you're running maybe, as we talked about on Thursday, probably just 6 to 8 different plays. And those are 6 to 8 plays that you can get comfortable in. And you have no problem running out there. I mean, Coach can tell you, we're running, something to the B gap. All right, I've done that 30 times yesterday in practice. This is something I'm completely comfortable with. But, Terry, who do you like that's undefeated right now? I know you like West Lincoln, but, I mean, is that who you're going to pick, the Rebels?
That would be who I would pick.
Yeah?
I mean, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Hey, right now them guys like we've talked about, and I keep talking about, they believe in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they come out. They had a reason to be out there on Thursday night. They knew what happened to them last year when they blew a game against East Burke, and here he goes moving them on up. We're moving all the way to the front here now. We should be number one. Hunter Huss, move them down. But anyway, it's a good thing, and I'm going to tell you the thing that's really making them tough to play this year, defense is playing great. They've only give up 17 points. That's average of 4.1 points a game. But offensive-wise, they've scored 191 and a average of 47.3. But here's the deal with that. It's not just the running that you have to worry about West Lincoln now. They got passing, and they're scoring off of passing. And if you open up a passing game, that frees up your running game, or if you open up the running game, that frees up a passing game.
Yeah.
And they're looking very good on both sides.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I went out to West Lincoln last year, and I mean, you could see that there was, there were the pieces there if they just had another year, and that's exactly what they got. I mean, you give a lot of credit to Fansuk and Eichert, and as you talked about the quarterback play, but I really, the person that I think is their X factor is Xavier Pendergrass, because he is, when he's on the field, he might be the fastest player on either team when he's out there. I mean, I saw him get out in space a couple times last year, and he just takes off. It's easy for him. And I mean, Terry, how have they used him? Do you know? I mean, how have they used him in the running game, passing game?
They've used it, well, I mean, when you've got, and I'll put it like this, talent like he's got, you can use him anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can use him in the backfield. He's one of your speedsters, and you can use him at safety. You can use him at a corner. You can use him wherever you need him, and he's going to be a plus for you wherever you stick him.
Yeah.
But the big thing I know a lot of people keep saying, and we've went over it in here, West Lincoln gets beat to the outside. Well, this team's not getting beat out there. They're quick enough to get out there to stop you.
Yeah.
Now, will you get beat a few times? That's going to happen against anybody. That's going to happen. But, they are able to get there and stop plays. And we always talk about how in football, speed can adjust for mistakes.
Yep.
And West Lincoln's been able to do that so far. And I know a lot of people are going to sit back and on the other end of these we talking to and says, well, they haven't played anybody. But these are teams that beat them last year.
Yeah.
And they're not just beating these teams, they're crushing these teams.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And when you have coaches from the other side who are mad by how bad you beat them, there's a good question here, because you're not just planting it in their heads, you're saying we succeeded in what we needed to do.
All right, Terry, you ready for the top 20?
All right, I'm not even going to look at this board because I'm already mad when I see one team in front of us.
All right, a couple of things. Let's talk about our What's Up Shopper KTC Broadcasting top 10. Started as top 10. We've expanded. We got 30 teams total. We've got 10 we've got 20 that are on the board here in the studio. We put 10 down the hall that don't make it. I don't know what are you saying, Terry?
I'm just looking at number 2.
What about it?
I mean,
What about it, Terry?
What about it? I agree. I like them.
What about it, Terry?
I like them.
They don't have
You
enough
didn't even
points.
play.
They don't have enough points.
You
didn't
should have
play.
failed.
They did fall.
They did.
They should
They
have
were
failed.
one.
They should have failed at
Dodo.
number 10.
Number 10.
Terry, if anything, I think you should. I think
Week 5, you're not falling that far.
Terry, I think you should just be mad you're behind Ashbrook. To be quite honest.
Yeah, I'm mad at that
yeah,
too.
we'll talk
And
about that
Kings
in a
Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, East Mac's a 3A, right?
Mm-hmm.
East Lincoln's a 2A.
Mm-hmm.
Forest View's what?
3A.
So that's what? 8? All right, that's more than West Lincoln.
Mm,
Simple
oh.
math, Terry. All right, maybe you shouldn't have put Cherville on your schedule this year. That's what your problem was.
Come down to Gaston County, Terry. Play somebody.
That is Gaston County, Carson.
No, I said, well, you know, it's listen.
People in Gastonia don't even know Cherville's in Gaston County. Yeah, do they?
Do people in Cherville know they're in Gaston County? It
Yes.
feels like a different place,
Yes,
man.
they
Up
do.
here,
They
it does. It is, but it's like, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be honest, and that's a good thing because I sent that out this morning to a few of our fans. When you are Cleveland County, Lincoln County, Gaston County, you know you're diehard for your county, you know, because to you they're the best, you know. And don't get me wrong, Cleveland County is dominated over the last few years, and a lot of times I send out stuff and I always LOL because a lot of people know I'm bull crapping.
I'll tell you right now, the Rebels are in front of 3 Cleveland County teams.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
He's mad that they're not
he's
in front
mad.
of the
Just
other one.
lucky we don't play them. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's it.
So, okay. All right, we're going to do the top 20. Okay, so, folks, what it is, you get points based on, and it's simple as this. If you beat a 1A team, you get 1 point, a 2A 2, a 3A 3. And the way we figure, people are like, well, some teams are better than others. Well, it's kind of like golf and the NASCAR point systems. It all evens out in the end.
It sure
Just
does.
let it full out because everybody plays good and bad teams. We'll see how it goes out. It has worked out every year, and we haven't really had any problems with it. So we'll see how we go from this point on. So now, if you lose to a 1A school, though, however, you lose 3 points.
Yeah.
If you lose to a 2A, you lose 2. The easiest thing to remember is the 2As. You lose 2 and gain 2 by that. Then you can go from there. From 3, if you lose to a 3A school, you lose 1 point, and a 4A, none. So after you get the points, then if there's a tiebreaker between points, we go to records. So 4-0 is better than 3-1, right, Carson?
Yes.
Terry, well, I'll ask this for my Cleveland fans: is 6-0 better than 2-5, 2-6, or 3-6? Would that win the tiebreaker?
6-0.
6-0 would be better.
I mean,
than
I would
3-6,
rather be
right?
6-0. Yeah.
All right, so that would win. That would win the tiebreaker on that. So just that. Now, if you win after to the 2 tiebreakers, we're still tied. Then we go to defensive points allowed.
Yeah.
Now, that's a good one. Speaking of that, before we get the poll started, Carson, who is our number 1 defense in our area? Now, though, our area, folks, the way we consider it is Gaston, Lincoln, and Cleveland County, but we also include the teams in their conferences. Okay, so it's basically the South Fork 2A, the Big South, Southern Piedmont 1A, and which one am I missing? There's a 2A, Southwest 2A.
Mm-hmm.
So those 4 conferences basically. Carson, you got to guess who the number 1 defense after 5 weeks?
Number 1 defense. Man. Is it somebody I would guess or somebody I wouldn't guess?
Let's say I'll give you a hint. You wouldn't.
Okay. All right. Man. Best defense.
4.3 points a game after 4 games.
Your boys, Terry?
Look at the board in front of you. They have outscored opponents, Terry. Not only are pounding them on offense at 48 points a game on average, West Lincoln also has the number 1 defense on the board too. 48 points a game, 4.3 points on defense.
I sure am glad Shannon's listening.
It's a good.
I know, JB. Give me just a minute. I sure am glad Shannon's listening. The number 1 defense in all of our conferences right now after 4 weeks. Everyone's played pretty much 4 games. There's a couple that's played 5. Shelby's played 5. A couple else has played 5, East Gaston and so forth. But anyway, is the West Lincoln Rebels, Terry. What do you got to say about that? You were just talking about the speed on the defense, closing out on the corners.
We were.
And I'm glad you led me into that. I was just waiting for you to get to that. So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, I keep telling people this team believes in herself. They messed up a lot last year. come away with a 3. Now you have to really understand a 3-8 record. That could have been 8-3.
Yeah.
Because I mean, these games and nothing wrong with the teams right here, but they was leading Lincoln late in the fourth quarter. They had Maiden tied.
East Lincoln.
They had led East Lincoln by a lot at halftime. They lost to East Burke in overtime after a bunch of turnovers, and lost to Fred T. Ford. Games that they could have won that ended up from a 3-8. And that's how people look at it. And they say, "Well, my God, they finished 3-8. Okay." But this team understood. All them juniors have moved up to be seniors. They understand, and they believe in each other now.
Sometimes you got to learn how to win, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You got to learn how to finish
the truth.
football games. I mean, you saw in that, the Hendersonville Burns game. Neither team wanted to win that game. The defenses did, and the offenses were trying, weren't they? But it was exciting. All right, so that's how the points work. Out of the top 20, off the board, down to the Hall of Shame, where we stick everybody down the hallway if you don't make the top 20. I'm not gonna say what order they are. These are just the 10 teams out of the top 20 right now. East Gaston, Chase, RS Central, Bessemer City, Union Academy, Lake Norman Charter, Lincoln and Community School of Davidson, North Lincoln, and Burns. Number 20, Terry Reinhardt, the Forest View Jaguars. They've got 0 points in the power poll. They're 1-3. Number 19, with also 0 points, but they're 2-2, so they won the tiebreaker of that. That's the North Gaston Wildcats. Coming in at number 18, the Newton Conover Red Devils at 2-2 on the season. They're giving up 28 points a game. North Gaston right now giving up 34. Let me see if that's the highest. It is not. It's the highest in the top 20. Lake Norman Charter's only giving up 20 points a game, and they're -4 right now outside the top 25, so there's that. Okay, back to that. 17 is Pine Lake Prep with 1 point. They're 3-1, and they have 1 point. They're only giving up 13 points a game, though, this season, so good, playing some good defense there. Number 16, the Mountain Island Charter Raptors. They've got 2 points. They're 3-1. They got a big game coming up this week with Bessemer City, and that'll be a pretty good matchup. Bessemer's had a tough season so far starting off. They've played some some teams that are having some pretty decent seasons so far this year. All right, let's see. Cherville, no, not yet. That's number 15. Shannon Allen, you moved up for number 19 from last week. The Shannon
Allen Golden Lions.
The Shannon Golden Lions.
You're number 15, Shannon.
The number 15, the Shelby Golden Lions. They're giving up, Terry. And here was my prediction why I thought Kings Mountain was going to win that game. Because the defense wasn't doing that much either this year. They're giving up 24 points a game. That's not a Shelby defense we've been accustomed to the last few years. Yeah. They held Kings Mountain to 16. Great performance last night. They were putting pressure on Kalen Wade all over the place. 22.6 points a game this season Shelby's given up. So it came down. It was 24 going into last week. It's dropped to 22.6. All right, let's see. Number 14, East Lincoln Mustangs. They've got 3 points. They're our first team with 3 points. They're 2-2 on the season. They're giving up 20 points a game on the season. Number 13, the Cherville Ironmen. They've got 3 points. 3-1 on the season. They're giving up 29 points a game. Number 12, Stuart Kramer Storm with 3 points on the season. They're 3-1, giving up 19 points a game. Number 11, the Ramblin' Wreck from Highland Tech. They're our only team with 4 points. They are also, by coincidence, our only team on the board that's 3-0. Exactly 3-0. And they're giving up 11.3 points a game. So what a great start and great season so far. Highland Tech, if you want to know what's coming up for them, they host Community School of Davidson, who's 2-2 right now. They host Bessemer City. They host Pine Lake Prep, host Thomas Jefferson, host Cherville, then at Union Academy. Home gets. I may have missed an at in there probably. There's not that many home games, I can imagine. So they do play, but that is the order they play. Community School of Davidson, Bessemer, Pine Lake, Thomas Jefferson, Cherville, Union Academy, and Mountain Island Charter. So Highland Tech, congratulations so far, 3-0, number 11 in the power poll. Number 10, only team that's got 5 points on the season, Thomas Jefferson Griffons, 18-3. 18, not 18-3. 18.3 points a game the defense giving up. All right, number 9 in the power poll at 3-2 on the season. They've got 6 points. So they're the lowest team. There's 3 teams here with 6 points. Lowest team with 6. That's South Point Red Raiders. They're giving up 18 points a game. Number 8, Bandy's Trojans at 3-1, giving up 19 points a game. And number 7, the Crest Chargers with 6 points. They've given up 13.5 points a game on defense. And Terry, that leaves you for the number 6 team in the What's Up Shopper, KTC Broadcasting Power Poll. Who is it?
It's West Lincoln.
West Lincoln Rebels.
Number 1 offense
6.
and number 1 defense.
I didn't say they were the number 1 offense. I
And
ain't counted that up yet. I don't think you are. I bet East Rutherford's got a say about that, maybe.
But we beat
In
number
fact,
5.
wait a minute. Let me back that up, Carson. Highland Tech might even have a say about that in points per game, Terry.
They
They
might,
only
Terry.
played 3.
I said points per game.
Yeah, not total points.
They've only played 3.
But Ashbrook has a loss. Kings Mountain has a loss. We should be ahead of those.
All right, so, Terry, the way the PowerPoint works, you get points for
Really?
so West Lincoln got 2 points for beating Drone, 1 point for beating Cherryville, 2 points for beating Fred T. Ford, and 2 points for beating East Burke this week. So they're sitting at 7 points. You're the only team with 7 points. Now, Ashbrook, we just counted them up against it just a minute ago. They play Burns this week. So there's a chance if Ashbrook loses, they'll move back to 7 points. If you guys win, Terry, you'll move up to 9 points in the top 5 area probably. Well, if you guys win, you'll be in the top 5 more likely. Crest may have a say at that depending on the points. You guys will be tied off them, but you'll be undefeated, so you'd break that tie. So
They're behind.
you'll be in front of Crest if you guys win as well next week too. So West Lincoln in front of 3 Cleveland County teams right now in the Power Poll. Number 5, that's pushed us at the Ashbrook Green Wave. They're 3-1 on the season. However, the defense has given up 25 points a game, the most in our top 10. So that's Terry's shots fired. Actually, that is not the most.
Close.
It's
close.
Good grief, that was close. 25.0 points a game. Remember the 0 in that. Number 4, Kings Mountain drops, Terry. After losing to Shelby last night,
Yep.
they're number 4 now in the power poll. They've got 8 points on the season, 3-1. And they've given up 53 points on the season total at 13.3 points per game. So Kings Mountain drops in the power poll to a couple of spots. They were sitting at 10. If they would have won last night, Terry, they would have been number 1 in the power poll. So that just shows you the drop they go from 1 to 4 from losing that game last night. Now what that leaves us the top 3. Number 3 is the Devil with a blue dress at 4-0. Here's the number 2 defense in the area at 4.8 points a game. Giving up let's see. They've given up, let's see if I got my totals, 19 points this season. Terry at 17 for West Lincoln. Then we got number top 2 switched places this week. Hunter Huss did not play this week, so they sat still with 11 points at 4-0. East Rutherford jumps up into the number 1 spot now with 12 points, 4-0. But they've given up 25.2 points a game. Terry,
Pull them up, see how many points they score.
pull them up. Terry, I dare you. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute. And we were way up against the break. Went way too long there. But we've got to take a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com. East Rutherford is the number 1 team.
Because of Hurricane Florence and the predicted weather forecast for the weekend, this year's Apple Festival has been postponed to Saturday, October 27th. We apologize for the inconvenience, but the safety of our community is of the highest concern. Stay tuned to this radio station in the next couple of weeks for more information. Again, this year's Apple Festival has been rescheduled for Saturday, October 27th in downtown Lincoln.
Start your engine!
Welcome to Vegas.
Blaney's got it on the bottom. Harvick's working the outside. Now will rocket forward.
It's the South Point 400.
Off of turn 2, it's going to be Joey Logano being pursued by his teammate Ryan Blaney into the second spot.
Kurt Busch up against the wall, and he gets collected by Chase Elliott.
This time he'll go to the bottom. He'll pinch Joey Logano.
The South Point 400. Sunday, September 16th at 2 p.m.
The South Point 400 from Las Vegas, Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock on Carolina Country. 1590 AM WCSL, 92.3 FM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
It's time to play at the Kings Mountain Country Club. Play and ride on the new cart paths. Play and ride 18 holes Monday through Friday for $28. Seniors 55 and older can ride and play 18 holes Monday through Friday for just $24. Play and ride 18 holes on weekends for just $37. For tee times, call 704-739-5871. For the Kings Mountain Country Club, located on 109 Country Club Drive in Kings Mountain.
They've got them all. At Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, they've got Ford, Chevrolets, Buicks, Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, Kias, GMC trucks, and more. What are we talking about? We're talking about the huge used car selection at Renato Auto Mall. Before you buy, come see Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And they are now your SUV headquarters. Over 50 to choose from, new and used, all makes, all models, and 10 to choose from, priced at under $10,000 at Renato Auto Mall. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, online at RenatoAutomall.com. When you need service on your automobile, do what I do and what most people around this area do. They take it to Rick's Automotive in Cherryville. They do it all at Rick's Automotive in Cherryville. Rick Walker and his staff is dedicated at providing you the best in automotive care, from an oil change to a tune-up to a full set of tires. Be sure to check out their tire specials before you buy. That's Rick's Automotive, 1001 East Main Street in Cherryville. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30. Just call 704-435-3801 for Rick's Automotive in Cherryville.
Mark Greenhalgh here for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Catch us every Wednesday from 11 to noon right here on WCSL 1590. Golf Shop Radio is driven by Fred Caldwell Chevy, home of the Silverado guys.
Welcome back. Good morning. Kevin Hastings here. Campers in Saturday Sports Talk with Terry Reinhardt, Carson Dockery, John Prather, JP up in the booth. If you're watching online, you can see him there in the corner. Hello. He's wearing the flash. Told him he couldn't wear the flash and show up late, Terry.
Right, that's true.
You can't be wearing a flash shirt and jacket and then show up right at 8 o'clock on the dime.
That's the reason I gave his biscuit to your dad.
Oh, I thought it was stolen.
No,
what'd you have in there to eat, JP, today? This morning, breakfast is always on Saturday mornings brought to us by Mitchum's Kitchen. Always good food, Tug. What'd you have, JP?
I'm about to heat it up, and I'll be having a sausage and cheese on a biscuit.
Terry, bologna and sausage. Is that what we're doing? Bologna and liver mush, or is that sausage? Bologna and sausage?
And liver mush.
I got the bologna and liver mush. I got the egg and cheese biscuit, 704-276-1155. Carson, what did you have this morning, bub?
Liver mush, egg and cheese on a bun.
Liver mush, egg and cheese on a bun. Some of the best biscuits, I tell you what. Amazing. East Rutherford's got 5 wins. That's why they're number 1. They got the extra victory over you, Terry. Also, we're looking at the point spreads, Carson.
Mm-hmm.
West Lincoln at 47.75. Mm-hmm. East Rutherford at 48.8.
Beat us by a point.
They're averaging 1 more point a game, but East Rutherford's giving up 25 a game.
Yeah, they're giving up 3 more touchdowns a game.
So, you guys are in the clear on that. All right, let's talk a little college football as we move on here on the show. What, Terry?
Only thing I got to say, say for college football is West Virginia, we saved y'all a loss. That's all I got to say. They postponed the game. Probably not going to make it up, so y'all don't have a loss this week.
Okay, is that going to put them in the national championship spotlight?
Yeah, hey, State might go undefeated.
Not State, West Virginia for not having that loss to State.
That's it. That's what would have hurt them. State might go undefeated now.
That's what's going to hurt them. Good grief. Anyway, looking here on the top 25 right now, let's see. Let's look at some ACC teams around here. Miami's at 21. Virginia Tech, 13. Is that it? Clemson, sorry about that.
There you go, yeah.
I guess I can't forget about them. They're kind of good. They're on KTC broadcasting today, too. JP is not in the seat. He's going to tell the schedule here in just a little bit. So we've got them today. North Carolina game got canceled. State. East Carolina game got canceled.
They decided not to travel up to Virginia Tech.
So a lot of games canceled this weekend. Weird situation with how the hurricane's moving. Tropical depression now, or storm, whatever it is. Never seen it. I was watching them talk about it. I was moving south basically because of the pressure systems up north, high pressure systems, keeping it low, moving down the beach, which is not good at all.
Nope.
You know, if it was going to move south like that, it needed to do it out in the ocean, not where all
on shore,
on the shore, on the beach. I mean, it's been right on top of the shore of North and South Carolina. This is where everyone goes to the beach, and there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be changed.
I mean, I think I saw last night. It said it had what? I mean, the winds weren't necessarily bad. I think they were topping out at like 50 miles an hour, but it was literally moving 3 miles an hour.
Just rain and rain and
And
rain.
yeah,
and
it's
rain.
not moving. I mean, I looked on the radar before I went to bed last night, and I think it was right over Myrtle Beach. I think now it's over Florence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's moved 20 miles inland overnight, which is terrible.
I'll tell you what was funny. My aunt and uncle, my aunt and my cousin lived down there, and they live at North Myrtle Beach, but they stayed. They didn't leave. They lived like a block off of the ocean. And she called in and said they'd boarded up everything. They were staying. They had, and they had their gasoline and stuff to run their generators and different stuff, but their power went out. So they got the daggum generator hooked up to the refrigerator to keep it going and everything, and they said, they're going to eventually have to go get some more gasoline, to keep everything going. But the roadways are flooded, and I was like, you kind of sit back and you say, why didn't you come on in?
Well,
but
if you're that close to the ocean, you probably need to. I got a bunch of friends in college that live in Wilmington.
Yeah, me too.
I've got a friend from around here, and he lives down there. They left Wilmington and they went to Charleston. So they ended up in it's coming back towards them. So anyone who moves south or towards Atlanta and stuff, it's moving back down.
Yeah,
towards
it's cutting back down. Yeah.
They're going to get soaked on just as bad. I don't know why they didn't come towards more inland. I guess they thought they would miss it south and for the direct hit, but it's bad. So it's affected all these college games. NFL hadn't changed anything, have they? But the colleges on Saturday here in the South have totally changed the schedules. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, it's funny because she said that she come out yesterday. The sun come out. She daggum takes the dogs out to walk them around and do their thing and bring them back in. But then when she got back in there, she's looking at the radar, and it was the eye going over top of them at that time, and everything was perfect,
Yeah.
But then it come back, so right now they're getting pounded again, still down there.
All right, let's look up the matchups today for our next break. We've got we'll pick our top 25 and some local teams here. Either one of y'all taking Georgia Southern to upset Clemson today?
I'll take Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson.
What about Middle Tennessee to upset Georgia?
No.
Number 5,
Georgia's a little bit better than I thought after watching them last week.
Number 5, Oklahoma is at Iowa State.
That one, Iowa State, they pull off upsets. It seems like once every couple of years they'll get somebody in the top 10. If I'm Oklahoma, I'm not calling for it, but if you're Oklahoma, you got to be ready.
What do you think about the quarterback? I mean, the coach now having to get a raise so he makes more money than the quarterback.
Well, that just tells you, if nothing else, play baseball, kids.
I mean, yeah,
right.
You go see, and that's my point about one of the points about paying them in college and stuff. What they could be earning. So like this situation right here, kid signs a multi-million-dollar deal. Well, he can afford to pay his own way in college if he really wanted to.
Yeah, he can.
And then now he can he do whatever he wants. His football. He's making more than the coaches.
Yeah.
I run a lap. Okay. I wish I would, Coach.
Yeah.
It's when the push-up coach making $500,000 tells you to do your push-ups. I don't know how you're supposed to feel about that. Penn State, number 11, host Kent State.
Most overrated team in college football.
Kent State? Don't be mean to Kent State like that. What are you doing? What do you got against Kent State?
Not a thing.
The Golden Flashes.
The Nittany Lions.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Just on account of you went through a bad stretch and everything happened along your way. Just on account of your Penn State don't put you back up at the top. Just on account of everything starting to go correctly. To me, Penn State is the most overrated college football team they are right now.
What do we have? 5 Big Ten teams in the top 14.
Yeah,
I had the other day that was allowed to win the championship this year. Number 21, Miami is at Toledo.
At Toledo, that's
Miami.
Miami's been having some.
Not Miami, Ohio, at Toledo.
Yeah, the University of the U. Well, I mean, they go to Boone last year. They're going to Toledo now, so it's it's nice to see them making the trip out of Coral Gables.
And that's what you want to see out of Alabama.
Yeah,
Clemson, some of these other teams
go somewhere
else.
Well, I always thought that was the point. If you're going to play little schools, let them come to you. Like, well, hey, we get to see Alabama, but it's bigger to fill your stadium. I think it'd be bigger to fill your stadium, but like Miami coming at that's big.
Think of the AD, buddy. He is loving it.
Yeah, he is.
Someone's got to fix something we'll talk about it in North Carolina here later on. Maybe that it just can't have the rest of the state being the worst team in the state, including the A&Ts of the world. Rhode Island at UConn. That's not a ranked team. That's not one of ours. Let me skip over that one. Let's see on down the line. UC Davis. They're playing at Stanford. There's a tough game.
Davis at Stanford.
And here's my thing about college football. Hey, play your own conference. Here we go. Okay. Play your own conference. Vanderbilt at Notre Dame, number 8.
That could be an upset. I could see that happening.
Fighting Irish are pretty good.
Will they start a book club during the game?
Hey, well, you know.
BYU at number 6, Wisconsin. Any upsets?
Nah.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
At number 12, LSU versus number 7, Auburn. Tickets are $83 in Alabama today. There's 1,900 available.
That's Auburn. I'm going Auburn. LSU, I don't know what they are. I feel like they might have got lucky in that first game. Auburn, I think Auburn, if their defense can play up to what they can be, they could be in the playoff, no problem. I think.
I'm gonna take LSU for upset.
Here's what I don't like about both these teams: the potential in the uniforms of both these Tiger teams. And they have some of the worst uniforms I've ever seen.
Auburn's are good. What are you talking about? They're classic.
Oh gosh, don't give me this.
Classic, man.
They're
good. You don't need to change.
Their uniforms might be okay. Let me back that up. I'm gonna change that. The uniforms are okay. The helmets are terrible. The LSU helmet in this 1925 clip art.
I mean, yeah,
is in the LSU written over.
What's wrong with Auburn?
I hate letters on helmets. Logos.
I don't want to read your helmet, boy.
I want to see Cincinnati Bengal stripes on your helmets. That's what I want to see.
That's not Auburn.
Memphis Tigers, the Auburn Tigers, LSU Tigers.
Well, don't put nothing on it.
Jaguars with the Jaguar spot helmets.
Oh, God.
Yeah, just be Ohio State. Don't put nothing on it. Put little emblems on it every time you have a great game.
Well, or, you sell your jersey and get a tattoo. But
yeah,
whatever.
There you go.
Number 17, Boise State at Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
It's tough, man. I mean, it's at Oklahoma State. Yeah, I'll go Cowboys.
Let's see. SMU at number 19, Michigan.
Jim Harbaugh needs this game. He really does. He has not lived up to nearly the hype that he's had since he came into there. I think they win it, but Michigan, they're gonna have to go on a roll here. Harbaugh, I don't know if he'll be gone after this year, but if he doesn't, if they don't finish with a top 10 record next year, he'll be on the hot seat, I think.
How come we keep putting the Big Ten up at the top when they cannot prove anything when it gets to the end of the year? And we do this every year. It's either SEC or the ACC that's winning it most of the time.
But we talk about the Big Ten.
We talk about the Big Ten because it's like, maybe from top to bottom.
They're good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it the best conference, though.
I cannot even really do that when I look at the bottom and I say Indiana, Illinois. Yeah. So, you're not better than the ACC. You're not better than the SEC. So I just wonder how come we keep putting so many teams. And I think it's got a lot to do with their coaches. Don't get me wrong, their coaches are known. That's like Harbaugh. You're talking about him. But, is Michigan, I think they're about where they need to be, down at the bottom of the 25.
So neither one of y'all are picking Illinois to beat South Florida today at home?
No.
Y'all don't sound too good about that. Now, if you want to be sexually harassed, you can go to Duke Baylor game today for $9. How about that?
Well,
that's a terrible idea to go to that.
Okay.
I would say Lehigh and Navy. That's not one of ours. How high Lehigh, right? Wofford at Wyoming. Let's see, going on down the line. San Jose State at Oregon. How's the Ducks going to do?
San Jose State. Yeah, San Jose State isn't a pushover, but I'm gonna go Oregon.
Oregon will win, but
Alabama, Ole Miss is the upset of the day. Who's calling it? Where's Shannon at when I need him?
I just don't see it. Ole Miss of a couple years ago, maybe when you had Robert Kimdiche and you had the quarterback Bo Wallace a couple years ago, maybe. But Ole Miss, they beat Alabama 2 straight years a couple years ago, and that was the first time that had happened in 20, 30 years. I think you're not going to see that again for a while.
And the thing about Alabama is a lot of people don't understand this is a team that's so filled with athletes that their second string probably could start for somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
And should have no trouble with Ole Miss. If you lose Alabama, you got a loss, and y'all still going to say y'all number one.
But I know they'll be number 2. And I'm just so happy that Alabama's willing to play a 1A team and a school that's willing to pay their players as well. So this is something this is a big step for Alabama playing big schools like this. They don't have Western Carolina this week or Loyola, however you say that, UL Monroe, one of those. Louisiana at Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, easy.
Number 16 is Mississippi State. Another big game on the schedule today. Y'all didn't think I was going to say this one. USC at Texas. I skipped over that one just for a second. USC at Texas, the rematch. Who you guys got?
I got USC.
You get a ticket for $5, by the way.
I think I'll call for the upset. I think Tom Herman, if he, obviously it's a lackluster start. Maryland had only beat 2 schools over the past 5 years twice, and Texas was one of them. But I think if that offense can get going, I think USC might be a little overranked. I mean, they got a freshman quarterback. You're at Texas. I mean, Texas isn't what they used to be, but still, I mean, a freshman, an 18-year-old kid going to Texas playing there, that'll be tough, I think.
So for $2, you can go to Akron at Northwestern. $2 tickets.
I'll take it.
5,700 available. So it costs probably $1 or $2 to print the tickets, I would imagine. Oh goodness. Ohio State number 4 and number 15 TCU. Terry, is the Big Ten going down?
No, Ohio
You just
State.
talked about how bad the Big Ten was, and I can't get you to pick the Horned Frogs.
No, I'm not going to do that. It's the last game without Meyer.
It's in Jerry World, Terry.
I mean, Meyer will be back
Horned
next
Frogs in
week.
Jerry World?
This is your chance, though, for them to lose, though, because this is a big game for you at TCU, and it's on the road. Can you pull this out? If you do this, look out, Ohio State might go undefeated again.
Yeah.
All right, there's Terry Bedford. Made Tom feel good. He's had a good week after Burns win, and Terry picks Ohio State to maybe go undefeated. I don't know what's going on in here. Number 10, Washington at Utah.
Scary here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to take Washington. I think it'll be close.
I do,
Washington.
too.
And number 23, Arizona State at San Diego State.
Well, that could be it.
I want to tell you something about Arizona State.
I'm picking Herm every time.
Yeah, Herm. He out-coached Michigan State last week. I'm
San
sorry.
Diego State in the pushover, Terry. I mean, you've had some first-round picks out of there the past couple of years.
I know, but he out-coached him last week. I
did.
mean, the coaching part's what won that game. And they act like a coach can't make a difference. It can.
Mm-hmm.
So,
can we just talk about the last game, though? The 11 o'clock Pac-12 After Dark.
it's a $2 event, too, Carson.
Listen, man, Khalil Tate. Terry, if you can make it to 11 o'clock, you can watch the guy who should win the Heisman, Khalil Tate.
It'll cost me $2 to get out of bed, turn the TV on, and watch it.
Listen, Khalil Tate, man, that's worth the price of admission. I don't care.
Cool. I love what you said, then. Can you make it? I was up last week watching Herm coach last week, and it was well after 12.
Good, Terry. I'm glad.
There you go. So for $2, that's the lowest tickets. Them in the Northwestern game. What do you guys think was the highest ticket? I know what it was. I'm just going
probably LSU Auburn. It's got to be right.
Nope. They're in second place by $1.
Oh man, who's one?
App's not playing this week. They're usually the most expensive.
They are,
there, almost always.
80. There it is.
Alabama at Ole Miss. Yeah. $84 is the most expensive ticket today.
Down at the Grove.
And Ohio State at TCU was how much?
At Jerry World.
$52. Terry, there's 110,000 seats.
And that's the permanent ones.
That's why there's.
I do not care.
Okay, for $52 you can sit with a helicopter's takeoff, or for $2 you can sit right next to the coach at Northwestern during the Akron game. you probably get in for Akron. Speaking of Akron, Carson, my roommate in college was from Akron, and he mastered the game of college football, and he would play
with
anyone with Akron and win. He would let you pick anyone, and this was when Reggie Bush
figured out the algorithm.
He would pick off 8 passes a game.
God,
you could not throw on him more than 5 to 10 yards. You could throw slants and little outs and drags and stuff. If you put it in the air and it was a jump ball, he figured it out. And Akron Zips, he won so much money in college off people that would, play with real teams. Here's the canceled games real quick before we go to the next break. East Carolina at Virginia Tech, West Virginia and NC State, Central Florida, they better be lucky they didn't get to come to Chapel Hill. We didn't knock.
Why? Because they didn't get to hang up 80 points on
they
Carolina.
the national champions didn't get to beat North Carolina. Southern Mississippi was scared to come to App. Norfolk at Liberty and Marshall at South Carolina. Now, Southern Mississippi at App's postponed. Norfolk and Liberty's postponed. The rest of those are canceled. All right. Any final comments before we go to college going?
We just need to make sure people know the difference between canceled and postponed.
Yeah,
that seems okay. Canceled means it's not gonna happen.
They're not gonna play.
It's not gonna happen. Postponed, it's gonna happen, just not right now.
Yeah, just not right now. So we'll be back in just a few minutes on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Because of Hurricane Florence and the predicted weather forecast for this weekend, this Saturday's live remote broadcast at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby has been postponed. We apologize for the inconvenience, but the safety of our community is of the highest concern. Stay tuned to this radio station for our next live remote radio broadcast from Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, and online at RenatoAutomall.com. Because of Hurricane Florence and the predicted weather forecast for the weekend, this year's Apple Festival has been postponed to Saturday, October 27th. We apologize for the inconvenience, but the safety of our community is of the highest concern. Stay tuned to this radio station in the next couple of weeks for more information. Again, this year's Apple Festival has been rescheduled for Saturday, October 27th in downtown Lincoln.
Terry Clark inviting you to join me this week for Country Gold, where we play all your favorites from the 80s and 90s.
Country Gold with Terry Clark, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Jesus Until the Whole World Hears Radio Ministries with evangelist Kim Earwood and worship leader Krista Earwood invite you to tune in every Sunday morning from 8 to 8:30 a.m. on 1390 AM WOHS and 1590 AM WCSL.
For 9 straight years, Ewing Insurance Agency in Gastonia has been voted the #1 insurance agency in the county. There's got to be a reason why. Ewing Insurance Agency features over 75 years of combined experience. Whether you're looking for a review of your auto or homeowner's insurance or seeking a customized business insurance package, the team at Ewing Insurance Agency is ready to tailor a plan that's right for you. Drop by their office at 1548 Union Road, Suite C in Gastonia. Visit their website at insuregaston.com. That's Ewing Insurance Agency. Carpenter Porter Funeral and Cremation Services in Cherryville is there for you in your time of need. They're a progressive and comprehensive funeral service provider, promoting the highest ethical and professional standards while maintaining cost-effective service. Funeral directors John Porter and Hannah Garrett are there to help you and give you guidance during one of life's most difficult times. For more information, call 704-435-6711. Located at 1100 East Main Street in Cherryville and online at carpentersfuneralhome.net, a member of the National Funeral Directors Association.
And good morning. Enjoying my Mitchum's Kitchen biscuit. Terry's got a finger to point.
Yeah, well, it's nothing like that. I want to tell the people out there in the world that Miss Vivian Fight passed away this past week. She was a teacher at West Lincoln, also a teacher over at Burns. And anybody that knew this lady, she was more than just a great person. She was great for individual kids to go through her, the way she lived her life and everything. But just want to say that, you know, for my blessings to the family and everything. But her and her husband's the one that married us when me and my wife got married. But again, blessings to them, and you know, hope life takes care of itself.
All right, nice words from Mr. Terry Reinhardt. And thoughts and prayers for everybody involved in the hurricane.
Yes.
and the animals and everything else. Everybody else out there, take care. We've got some. We want to go over some local college scores. Since we've got a bunch of kids around here that play in a lot of these local scores. Mars Hill at Lenore Ryan won 59-27, and the score of the year.
Oh yeah,
is going to be. And this isn't Steph Curry's led Davis Wildcats. This is football. Carson, 152 points were scored in this game.
I mean, we don't have the Russian stats up there, but I know Davidson ended up with I believe, over 600 yards on the ground.
The leader had Bale had 187. Davidson 91 points, 91-61 over Guilford. That's a lot of points. Like I asked,
what was the halftime score?
Yeah,
I asked Jeff Jones. They almost had to put the running clock on them, and they had 61 points. I asked Jeff Jones the other night during that Burns last night. Terry is talking about. I was like, "Is your neck hurting?" Looks like a tennis match.
You're exactly right.
From all those scores, they had 111 in that one, and this one had 152.
Boy, that's not bad.
Not a single tackle was made in that game. All right, let's any other ones in this.
Limestone at Tusculum. Tusculum had no problem, 37-10. Anybody else around here? I'm sure. I want to think Wingate is still scheduled to play today. I'm not entirely sure. I'll get to scrolling. Don't worry about it. Let's see, Terry. I mean, you got anybody that you can think of off the top of your head? I mean, to be a good score.
Well, I mean, when you go down through there, we always think don't ever take us wrong, because we do know where Mars Hill is, Lenore Ryan, Wingate, Gardner Webb. You know, we have a lot of players from around our area that go to all
Gardner
those
Webb
schools.
and Western played last night, if I'm not mistaken. I want to think that Western came out on top. So that was that was a good matchup for those two schools. I mean, they're Cullowhee and Bowling Springs not that far away.
I know a lot of people miss the Appalachian and Western.
Yeah, you do.
I even wish they would even go back, and I know Appalachian might be able to dominate it on account of the scholarships and that they have coming into the school now. From being Division I. But I think they need to get that back together, maybe play each other anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean,
even for Western, if they beat App, what a great win that would be for them. But I don't know whether App wants to face that. I mean, and Kevin would be able to tell you. Would
Appalachian and Western playing
again?
We're not scared of them.
Well, I know that. I mean, I know that. But if you'd lose to them, and then they would say,
Wingate is going to defend their South Atlantic Conference football title tonight against Carson Newman. That one will be on ESPN3, so you'll be able to watch that one if you got ESPN Plus. And Wingate, coached by Joe Reich, obviously Frank Reich, the coach of the Indianapolis Colts. That's his brother. Coach Reich's been there for a while. Wingate's had several good players from around here. You had Perry Floyd from Forest View. Logan Bradley was there from Forest View for a couple of years. Nortavius Otis out of Ashbrook. We had Daniel Owens from Cherryville, who was a 4-year starter on the offensive line. So you've got, like we were talking about, Terry, you've got a lot of local products on these teams that might not necessarily, be big Division I teams, but they're still out there playing football, and I mean that's they're getting.
And they do play for a crown and everything else.
Exactly right. Yeah. Well, Terry, we've been left alone. So what do you want to talk about, Terry? I know you've got something on your mind. I'm sure you do.
Break?
I know you want to talk about something.
Well, I ain't got a problem with that. Let's take a break, and we'll come right
let's
back.
Do it.
Because of Hurricane Florence and the predicted weather forecast for the weekend, this year's Apple Festival has been postponed to Saturday, October 27th. We apologize for the inconvenience, but the safety of our community is of the highest concern. Stay tuned to this radio station in the next couple of weeks for more information. Again, this year's Apple Festival has been rescheduled for Saturday, October 27th in downtown Lincoln.
Say, kids, what time is it?
This is the 60s.
Hey, JJ Wilson here, reminding you to tune in this weekend for This is the 60s, featuring the best music from the best decade and so much more. There's 60s television, movies, news, pop culture, trivia, novelty songs, interviews, deep cuts, and a whole lot more. It's peace, love, and rock and roll on This is the 60s.
This is the 60s, Friday mornings from 10 a.m. till 12 noon on The Boss, WOHS, AM and FM in Shelby, WLON in Lincoln.
Welcome to Vegas.
Blaney's got it on the bottom. Harvick's working the outside. Now will rocket forward.
It's the South Point 400.
Off of turn 2, it's going to be Joey Logano being pursued by his teammate Brian Blaney into the second spot.
Kurt Busch up against the wall, and he gets collected by Chase Elliott.
This time he'll go to the bottom. He'll pitch Joey Logano.
The South Point 400. Sunday, September 16th at 2 p.m.
The South Point 400 from Las Vegas, Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock on Carolina Country, 1590 AM WCSL, 92.3 FM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
It's not a trend, it's a tradition. The Captain's Cap Family Seafood Restaurant has been serving this area for over 35 years. It's the name you can trust. And be sure to vote for the Captain's Cap in the annual Best of Gaston contest. From seafood to steaks to chicken to a huge salad bar, you'll love the Captain's Cap Family Fish House. Located on Linwood Road in Gastonia, Park Street in Belmont, and on Highway 16 in Denver. Trust the name you know, the Captain's Cap Family Fish House.
They've got them all. At Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, they've got Ford, Chevrolets, Buicks, Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, Kias, GMC trucks, and more. What are we talking about? We're talking about the huge used car selection at Renato Auto Mall. Before you buy, come see Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And they are now your SUV headquarters. Over 50 to choose from, new and used, all makes, all models, and 10 to choose from, priced at under $10,000 at Renato Auto Mall. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com.
Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services. On WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM, it's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. On WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Covenant Bible Church in Lincolnton. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on the Boss and Carolina Country.
And good morning, Campers Inn of Kings Mountain Saturday Sports Talk. Stop by and see them today, or any day really, outside right off 85 there in Kings Mountain, and get you a camper. Don't forget breakfast also at Mitchum's Kitchen. Now, I had one comment on the games. I had to run down. Our Panthers contest winner that was in the paper, guys, just stopped by, and we had to give him the his trophy, or what per se, his goods. He wanted 4 Panther hats, 4 Panther T-shirts, a night at the Hampton Inn. Any Hampton Inn, I think. And then let's see, what else was it? $100 cash for the game, and 4 tickets to the Saints Panthers game December 17th. Folks, you can win stuff like that and more every Saturday wherever Calvin goes. Giving away Renaissance Festival tickets now. Tar Heel Festival tickets, things like that. We've got all kinds of fun. We've got golf tickets, Panthers tickets. We've got racing. We're giving away Talladega tickets. Register. You can register online for some of these. You can go to the Calvin shows, but also look in the paper. There's a list on page 38 every week. This week's giveaway, and now we're doing an NASCAR giveaway to Talladega.
And that's for Talladega is for qualifying, and then the race on Saturday and the race on Sunday.
Yep. And now, if you want information on the Talladega, if you like anything about Talladega, you can go to ktcbroadcast.com. We've got some links on our homepage right now. Click on those links, and they'll take you straight to the Talladega homepage, and you can check out and look up anything you want there. But our winner in this Panther giveaway, guys, Caleb Carpenter, he registered over at Shelby Hardware, and so that's what you do. You look in the paper, page 38, check out where the locations are to register. You can also register online on the giveaway page as well at whatsupshopper.com. Go to whatsupshopper.com and check out all the giveaways, the contest, all the ads. Folks, we have about 70 pages of ads every 2 weeks in the What's Up Shopper. Deals. Instead of going to big box stores, support your local citizens here in our area. I did have one comment on this on some of the scores, these other local scores. Of all the games that got canceled, okay, in the area around in college football, why has this game not canceled? Coast Guard at Nichols. Don't they have something better to do right now?
Maybe.
Why is the Coast Guard playing a football game? Everyone else got something. Everyone else is canceling the game.
I just want to know why they're the only. All the other service academies are D1 schools. Coast Guard is the only one that's. I mean, this is the Division 2 and 3 page.
Mm-hmm.
Army, Navy, and Air Force. They're all Division 1 schools.
Good question. Well, none of them should be Division I because, like you said, we got a piece of paper over here that says only 15 teams are allowed to win it.
Yeah.
Where's Coast Guard located is the question.
Where?
Yeah.
In the ocean. Come on, Terry.
Well, okay.
Every time I've ever seen them.
Massachusetts.
Is that right?
That's what I just.
Did it say something?
I saw Dudley, Massachusetts.
That's where Nichols is at.
Okay.
That's
I'm on it, Terry. Don't worry.
Carson's going to try to figure that out. In the meantime,
I mean, they might be out west somewhere, so their team is able to play.
In the meantime, real quick for in our next segment, we've got to talk about it's playoff time in NASCAR. Playoff time here. You can always listen to NASCAR. We've got NASCAR covered, folks. The best sports coverage around Gaston, Cleveland, Lincoln County sports. We've got NASCAR. We've got Braves. We've got Clemson. We've got Tar Heels. Who else am I missing? Hornets, Braves. Did I say Braves already? Panthers. I mean, just all of those. Hey, I don't understand why this computer. I got to get a new computer.
London, Connecticut, Terry.
New London, Connecticut. What did you say, Massachusetts?
That's close. Pretty close.
You're in the neighborhood.
I mean, yeah, they all run together up there. They all have funny accents. It doesn't matter.
I'm sure they'll say the same about you.
I'm sure. I am positive. That's why I don't feel bad about saying it.
But this week, the NASCAR playoffs get started in Vegas.
I saw where they had the burnout showdown. Did you see that?
No, I did not see
They shut down an intersection. And they just had cars out there doing burnouts for a competition.
Did you see who won?
I did not. I saw one video where you had two cars butted up against each other and were doing burnouts, and I was like, this is seems kind of dangerous, guys. But you're the professionals.
Well, yeah, they are, and they've done those before.
Yeah, once or twice. I would hope.
I did think I saw a picture of Jimmy Johnson doing a burnout on my Twitter feed as I was following through. My son's in a race car. I guess phase right now. He wants to be a race car driver. He wants to. It started with watching movie Cars and everything, and what got us and I told y'all when we went to the race was he Lightning McQueen. He's red number 95. Well, we get to the All-Star race. I'm not thinking there's going to be anybody out there. He's like, Lightning McQueen's going to be out there. I was like, no, he's not. We get out there. By God, Casey Kane's 95, and it's red that night. And I'm like, oh gosh. So anyway, he's been on a, going back to school this week. You get to know you stuff, and so he's drawing race cars, and so he came home yesterday trying to show his 4-year-old sister how to draw a 48 race car like he did in school. So he's trying to get her involved, and they got their little cars, and they go out there and they ram each other and bump draft each other around the neighborhood. And I don't know if these Power Wheel cars, they have a screw in them. And a lot of people don't know this, and I'm about to unleash a lot of kids in the area if they're listening. If you got a Power Wheels, you don't know that it seems slow to you. There's a screw in the gearbox, and you can take it out, and there's a second gear. So they actually have.
It's the governor.
They do. There's a governor. There's two gears. So my daughter just got old enough to really control it, and her car is faster than his.
Nice.
It's a pink frozen Jeep.
Yeah, boy.
He's got this Ford F-150. Now it moves. His moves fast. I didn't think they would make one that fast. She got up hers, and I took the screw out the other day, and it zoomed by, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill herself, or she's gonna make him mad." And all of a sudden, he's like wanting to ride with her and check out that Jeep now that it's flying past this road. Yeah, I didn't know that. Growing up, I didn't know it. I was 33 years old. I found out 2 years ago, and I had one. We had one for a year. My brother-in-law showed me. He's like, "Hey, there's a screw in that. You can take that out."
I wish I would have known that as a kid.
I bet a lot of people don't know that. They go faster. There's a little screw in the gearbox.
I mean, yeah, you always, I always felt like there was some unleashed potential under the fake hood of that Jeep.
All kind of parents now are running out there trying to hunt that little thing so they make sure they clamp it away or something so they cannot take it off.
All the dads are out there and mom's like, gosh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home. My nephew
just heard this and he said, "Ooh,
I'm gonna have to get new wheels for him, so he's gonna burn them out." The lineup here in Vegas. Let's go over them real quick before we take another break. We've still got baseball and the NFL to talk about. Eric Jones is on the pole in Vegas. He is in the playoffs. The top, let's see. It looks like everybody in the playoffs made the top 18. About. There's 16. There's only like 2 that didn't make it. So I'll say who's not in the playoffs when I get to it. How about that? Eric Jones is 1, Logano 2, Hamlin 3, Kyle Busch 4, Harvick 5th, Blaney 6th, Chase Elliott 7, Kurt Busch 8, Bowman 9, Truex 10, Larson 11, McMurray 12, Keselowski 13. Stenhouse is not in the playoffs. He starts 14th. Clint Boyer 15th. Amarola 16th. Jimmy Johnson 17th. And Austin Dillon 18th. How about Amarola making it that 10 car, Terry, after Danica for years? Not making it. So, he gets in it. And he's always done pretty well in the 43. He got it close to making the playoffs. They've expanded to 16 teams. That helped a lot. And a lot of drivers retiring and quitting these past few years and changing seats. Martin Truex, the champion, is losing his
how about
ride. And Jimmy Johnson is losing his sponsorship. All in the same year. Johnson losing his sponsorship and the champion losing his ride.
Well, Furniture Row just completely shutting down.
Well, the big thing is he's losing his ride, and then he's going to go to the number 19 car. And then Daniel Suarez, what happens to him? I mean, he's the one driving that car.
He missed the playoffs this year in a Toyota. So maybe they're not thinking he's not doing that well because almost every other Toyota is in the playoffs. So Suarez outside the playoffs, a couple of other ones down the line. So that's that. I'm sure Truex can get one or 3 more spots up in the playoffs. Suarez finished 19th, and in a Toyota too. So maybe Truex will get that going. So this is like I said, in Vegas. I'm going to back up, see if I can get to the schedule, so we can maybe talk a little bit about that. Looking forward, exactly what's about to happen here in the next couple of weeks. NASCAR likes to throw. We've always fussed about changing the rules, and this Roval coming up in a couple of weeks is going to be a big thing. And I think everybody's the biggest concern, of course, is it's never been done before, and so we're starting it. And it's an elimination race. This is just not only is this how silly
wild,
it gets.
Man.
We're not going to throw it in the All-Star and try it, which is what they should have done. That would have been the easiest thing to do of everything, I would think. We're going to throw it in this, which is fine. I love the idea of it, but everything needs a test first.
Exactly.
One, you don't throw it in the playoffs, right? And then two, you're making an elimination race, and then the elimination races. In these first couple of series, it's whoever doesn't wreck almost. And you're putting a road course in an elimination race, and there's going to be some hot heads in Charlotte September 30th, 2 p.m. on WCSL.
And I think it's going to be one of these things if you come down to it, and let's say it's a Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex, or Kevin Harvick who gets eliminated out of this race from having a wreck in it, they're going to have a lot to say.
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
they are knocked
out.
If
Kyle Busch wrecks in Charlotte, doesn't matter.
Oh, Lord.
You know what I'm saying?
He might light the pit's on fire or something.
He'll just speed down 73 again.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure he'll get a speeding ticket. Me and Carson's going down the same road for that.
Yeah.
All right, so the first 3 races, here we go. We've got Vegas, Richmond, and Charlotte. Earnhardt's jumping in the Richmond race, Terry. Did you know that? So in the middle of the playoffs, he's going to come in there and wreck somebody. Wonder who, that's not going to cause any controversy at all.
Don't have to worry about him. He'll be at the back.
Try not direct. Next 3 races will be Dover, Talladega, and Kansas. Then Martinsville, Texas, and I don't know where that is. What's ISM?
500, Can-Am 500. I have no idea, guys.
Why do we not know?
I'm on it.
ISM.
That's not Indianapolis, is Arizona. Phoenix.
What is what's the
anyway,
I stand for?
They'll be in Phoenix. They'll end in Phoenix. And then of course they end in Homestead, Miami. If I was running the thing, I would have tried the Roval in the All-Star first. I don't mind it being in the playoffs after trying it maybe a time or two. I don't know about it for the 600. That'd be.
It don't mess with that.
I mean, think about your first 3 races. You got, like this weekend, then you go to Richmond, then you go to Charlotte. You go from like a mile and a half to a small track to an oval.
Roval.
Excuse me, Roval.
Yeah, you did it right.
Yeah.
So this does, I think what it does, and I actually kind of like it maybe, because I think it gives a chance for
everybody.
Exactly the underdogs that can't, because if you're not going full speed, that means you can bump, you can draft, you can work on your handling, your takeoff. You can work on all that instead of, hey, I just need to get at full speed in Vegas and haul butt. That because that's what they're going to be doing this weekend, and but you won't be doing that at Richmond and Charlotte, and I think it could allow some of these guys. This could allow someone like, Jimmy's not having a good year. You don't think of him as an underdog, but dang, you finished, 15th in the standings? So, this would allow maybe someone like him to definitely sneak into the second round as long as he doesn't wreck. And I think that's the biggest thing is don't wreck. The first 2 rounds, don't wreck. And then after that, it's the race is on, I think.
Yeah, your next one is Dover, Talladega, and Kansas. Well, Dover and Kansas is about the same. Talladega, to me, is like your one that could eliminate whoever.
Well, yeah, because any dummy on the track could mess up your season just at Talladega alone, and the big one's going to happen.
And then you go back to a small track, 1.5 miles, and what's after Texas, on down the next one.
The
ISM, another Phoenix. 1.5 miles.
So at Talladega, what's your strategy? I mean, if you're in a high position, say, and you're all you gotta do is survive. Do you just sit there riding the back and ride at 150?
Yeah, just don't lose your draft.
Yeah, I mean, what else can I do? There's no point in pushing it because from 1 to 30 or 25, you're in wreck zone. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to watch. Starts this weekend, WCSL 15:90 a.m. JP, read the schedule. There's a schedule to your right, I think, and then take us to break, buddy. It's going to take you a minute to read. The flash is in there. Slow down.
Do not go there with me.
Slow down, Flash.
All right. We have.
You know what the funniest Flash name was? Terry, and Terry will know this. I don't know if Carson will. It was the dog on Dukes of Hazzard. He was a basset hound that never moved. You remember him, Terry?
Yes,
Big old fat basset hound. What's the sheriff's name? Roscoe would yell. He would just yell at Flash all the time. Stop, Flash, or get him, Flash. And Flash never moved. All right, Flash, what we got going on in there?
All right, today we have Georgia Southern at the Clemson Tigers. We got Washington at the Atlanta Braves and the Xfinity race.
What time's the Xfinity race?
7:30 p.m.
What time? All right, now tomorrow's schedule.
Tomorrow we got the Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons. NASCAR from Las Vegas, New York Giants at Dallas Cowboys.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. It's time to talk NFL, and the biggest upset of the weekend goes to... We'll see in a minute. Terry says Carolina Panthers. We'll be back in just a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Because of Hurricane Florence and the predicted weather forecast for this weekend, this Saturday's live remote broadcast at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby has been postponed. We apologize for the inconvenience, but the safety of our community is of the highest concern. Stay tuned to this radio station for our next live remote radio broadcast from Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, and online at RenatoAutomall.com. When you shop our local advertisers, be sure to tell them you heard it on the radio. That way they'll know that their radio dollars they spend works for them and you too. Even in today's fast-moving world, radio remains the leading media to reach more people. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio over the air. TV viewership is 89%, smartphone use is 83%, and personal computer use is 50%. So if you're a business owner, reach more people with the power of radio. If you don't tell it, you can't sell it. See the power of radio. WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville. Online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
At Reliable Home Appliance Center in Gastonia, they have something for both mom and dad. For mom, see front-load washers and dryers. Also, built-in dishwashers and side-by-side refrigerators. Plus cooktops, microwave, and wall ovens. And for dad, it's the Big Green Egg for the ultimate cooking experience. And a new Danby Kegerator. Don't go to the big box store. Get hometown service plus a friendly smile at Reliable Home Appliance Center, located on 3001 Union Road in Gastonia. For sales, service, and parts, plus 12 months, same as cash. Is the cost of ink driving your profits down? Then listen up. Discount Inkjet and Toner is here to help. Discount Inkjet and Toner specializes in refilling inkjet and toner cartridges. Cut your ink costs by as much as 50% or more. Discount Inkjet and Toner, located on 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
Mark Greenhalgh here for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Catch us every Wednesday from 11 to noon right here on WCSL 1590. Golf Shop Radio is driven by Fred Caldwell Chevy, home of the Silverado guys.
Bill Shuford Heating and Air and American Standard presents the American Standard Set the Standard event. Now through November 30th, get up to $1,000 in discounts on qualifying American Standard equipment, or get 0% APR financing with 60 equal monthly payments, plus many more special Set the Standard event offers. See Bill Shuford Heating and Air for all the details. Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Call 704-484-0025.
Stroll and do stuff like that, Carson.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not going. Nope, that's not me.
Terry, biggest NFL upset of the weekend. I was there, row 11. Believe it or not, about 17 seats to the right of Brent Pascoe.
Huh.
I was watching him drink some Pepsis and enjoy the ball game in his Panthers gear. Yeah, he came in two groups, and he said, some of us are upstairs, some of us are down low. And I said, where you sit? He said, down low. I said, I figured. He sent the girls upstairs, Terry. But it was a good, I would say a close game. I wouldn't say a good game. It was exactly what I predicted, I think, as far as how the game would go. I thought it'd be
low scoring.
Excuse me, to me, I think they're two of the worst teams in the NFC after playing with no offense, no nothing, 16-8. So the Cowboys' strategy was to hope Zeke can get to breaks one, and we're going to throw 5-yard passes all day. The Panthers' strategy was hope Cam breaks one, and we're going to throw 5-yard passes all day. So it was just it's one of the most boring NFL games I would say I've ever been to. The traffic was nuts. There were people parking on the exit ramps and on the side of 277. Not in parking spots, Carson. I'm talking, they just...
How do you get away with that?
It got game time. They just lined the rows up. I mean, I've got my brother-in-law, he went to the game with me. He lives in Belmont. He goes about all the games. And he said he's been down here for 4 or 5 years. He's never seen anything like this. I got him to admit, Terry, that it was America's team. And
That's right.
He's like, I can't say nothing about that. He said, this is crazy. And then the stadium, I don't want to say 50-50, but it was pushing 50-50.
That don't surprise me. That does not surprise me at all.
Cowboys and Panthers fans, and when it was the end of the game, and a lot of the Cowboys fans started leaving early. Leaving it made you feel like it made you realize exactly how many there was, because it was wall-to-wall people leaving, but it was all Cowboys shirts. Mm-hmm. But somebody made the point last night. It's weird though if you go to a Cowboys game that it's like that opposite, because it's like those same basic Cowboys fans are still there, but there's so many seats and everybody wants to come to Jerry World that there's like 20,000 of the other fans there as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think I think we moved our piece of paper. I had one here. I thought I wrote down, but I remember what the scores were. The four of us last week had the Panthers scoring 14, 15, 16, and 18 was our predictions.
Yep.
So we all had the Panthers in
Yeah.
there. The only thing was two of us had Dallas scoring like 19 or 20, and the other two had them losing. So we all pretty much nailed it exactly. I think me and Terry both had Dallas. When I wasn't going to pick the Panthers, so wouldn't beat Dallas. So.
I had the Panthers score right. That's what I'm
saying. We were all over the Panthers score. So that's my assessment of it. Terry, your assessment of the Cowboys. Now that you said they were going to range from 12-4 to 14-2, there's one of the losses.
Yeah, well, still 12-4, still there. But I don't know. When I first started the game, and it kind of makes you mad that we talk about preseason games not meaning anything. Mm-hmm. It means a lot, because them last few games,
practice.
yeah, Prescott Elliott, a few of the offensive line, a few of the defense, and all those did not play.
Yeah.
And when you do not have game time hitting, it makes a big difference when you first start. And you could tell that in Dallas. When they first come out there, they had no clue because all of a sudden the whole game changes from practice to the real game.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you do changes. And it bothered me because I knew we were in trouble on Carolina's first possession when we got called for roughing the passer. And I'm like, that's the most bullcrap call I have ever seen right off the bat. I knew right then we was not only playing Carolina, but we was also playing them refs.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that, okay, you called it, but that could have been let go.
Yeah.
So I knew we was in trouble, so that gives Carolina first down. And I know everybody said, well, Cam's doing it again, and he bothers me a lot, y'all, because he's an individual who puts himself off, and I know everybody that was there saw it. His group is over here at the 20, but Cam's up here at the 50 by himself, pointing and raising his hands like, I'm the best. But, no problem. That's him. That's what he does. But the first touchdown they scored when they come back to the 35-yard line, and then Cam and them take it in, and Cam scores a touchdown. Well, you know what? Cam didn't do that. The kickoff returner, the punter returner is the one that got him being that close.
Mm-hmm.
And his short field position made it equal for him to score. But I don't know. Dallas started playing okay the second half. I was not mad at them and what they were doing. It's like they got to get half a quarter in, the whole quarter in, and 2 quarters, and come out the third quarter, started playing well. And it bothers me when we always see these stats when Elliott carries less than 20 times. Well, you know what? Elliott was averaging 4 yards a carry. So if you go 4, 4, and 4, that's first down, and we're moving on. The balls are moving. So, maybe he didn't get the ball enough. But, I know they put us behind. We started thinking we had to pass. Carolina's pass rush was a little bit better. Our line could not protect Prescott. That kind of bothered me,
I
which
think
we
both
are
teams'
missing.
front sevens are pretty decent.
Yeah. Defensive-wise, the only thing that really bothered me was when Garrett come out at halftime and he says our defense has to play better. And I'm like, your defense is keeping you in this game. That bothered me. Your offense had did nothing the whole first half, but first thing quote coming out of his mouth was about the defense.
Yeah.
Speaking of quotes in Dallas, did you hear what Jerry Jones' son said, Mr. Steven?
No.
Please tell. You did not hear this junk, and this will make you hate the Joneses even more if you already don't. Aitman, during the game, was making comments apparently about, something about Dak needs to do, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember exactly what he said. Stephen Jones called Aitman 3-time Super Bowl champion, #1 overall pick, Hall of Famer. He called Troy Aikman an armchair quarterback. The son of the billionaire owner called Troy Aikman an armchair quarterback, and he was basically saying he needs
son of a billionaire who doesn't know what he's talking about and thinks he does. That sounds
his dad's the one that gave him all the
his
money.
His dad played football actually too.
Yeah.
I don't know if Steven played or not. And I know Steven's son's pretty good, but come on. The only reason that you have the money you have is basically because of Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
Not even his dad. What if he had come in and they would have failed in 5 years and he sells the team? They don't even have a team no more.
Yeah.
If they would have won 3 Super Bowls and hadn't won one in 35 years, would he still have the team? Would they be worth billions?
He might still have it, but they wouldn't be playing in Jerry World right now.
An armchair quarterback, not like a real armchair. This is Troy Aikman,
someone who was an actual quarterback.
These owners, and this was Jordan, and a lot of people we never even get to talk about anytime. But the way, everybody talks about Dan Gilbert and the way they treat LeBron. My goodness, they don't know how bad Jordan was treated by the owners in Chicago. Every time they won it, they did the same thing that they're doing right there. Is that they were trying to claim that Stephen Jones trying to claim. I guess that he's running things. I don't know what but the organization and not the players are doing it. And my goodness.
Well, me and your dad about hit it right. Your dad sent me one, said, you think about everything. We got a quarterback that cannot hit anybody down the field, which, he missed a wide-open tight end one time by 10 yards.
3 years ago, didn't Carson?
He was wide open, and we missed him.
I'm telling you.
And then we was talking about we got rid of Bailey,
I don't think Jason Witten would have quit if he thought this team was going to be good. because he's getting paid about the same he's getting.
Well, Terry, please tell me you saw it.
Really, Terry, I don't think he would have quit.
Did you see what Landon Collins said about the game coming up this week?
I'm listening.
They basically said if we can shut down Ezekiel Elliott and put the ball into Dak's hands, we are comfortable with that.
That's the same thing people talk about with the Panthers. Mm-hmm. We let Cam try to beat us by himself, and that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this all goes back. I know everybody was like, Cam did all this stuff. His defense is what helped him Sunday.
His defense is what took them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the defense, we talk about it every year.
Yeah, we do.
Defenses almost always make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And you're right, Carson. The defense is what.
But I will.
Both times they went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: the receiving core for Dallas took it hard this week. Finally, you never hear nothing out of Cole Beasley. He's one of them guys never says anything, but he was even talking, you know, and it was Hearns, Williams. I mean, they all come out talking, saying, okay, well, we'll show you. Everything's different because everybody was saying these receivers cannot break away.
Yeah.
You know, the only one that can even on the team ever get open is Beasley.
Yeah.
You know, because Hearns couldn't get open, Williams can't get open, Gallup can't get open, you know, and everybody's like, you know, hey, we can stop every one of them. But, I mean, you know, this coming up week, and this is a tough game, Dallas and the Giants and Dallas, where the Giants have come down in there consistently every year and beat us down at our world. You know, so, you know, this ought to be their chance to say, you know what, we're not as bad as what you thought, and we're going to change things. But it's got to start from quarter number one, you know.
So let's kind of transition to the Panthers this week. They'll be playing the Falcons. I had the Falcons making the playoffs on a wild card on a tiebreaker, so I don't even know if that qualifies them being a full playoff team by my count. But did not look too great in the opener. Panthers only 16 in the opener. Is this going to be a classic 24-23 Panthers-Falcons battle in this game in the 20s?
I think so. I mean, Atlanta is down. Both Deion Jones and Keanu Neal are both gone off their defense, and those were two guys that were – I mean, those are probably your two fastest guys on the defensive side of the ball, and Deion Jones is the guy who keeps Cam contained, and then if he gets out in the open field, Keanu Neal is the guy who comes down and gives the help. I think – It depends if you can have another Julio Jones performance like they did last year where Julio Jones is literally the reason why Bené Benwickery is not with the Panthers anymore. If he can have a game that's half that good, I think Atlanta really shouldn't have a problem, to be quite honest. I mean, I think it'll be close, but I think it'll be close maybe because of a garbage score, like a garbage time score, honestly.
Julio is a problem in the Dome.
On the turf, yeah.
It's good for my fantasy team. Devontae Freeman isn't starting. I've got Tevin Coleman as my. I'm gonna put him in the flex. I had him in the bench this week. He had 9 points. I'm gonna put him in the flex this week. A couple of things about Cowboys and Panthers both. The good news is they both, defensive wise, 8 and 16 points. NFL average and throughout history is 24 points a game on defense. So that's the average. So if you do less than 20. You're usually a top 10 defense, so that's giving you some things to look forward to from that perspective. Also, here's a fun stat for you. The Panther fans or Cam defenders will talk about all the time about he doesn't need to be accurate. He doesn't need to throw the ball well. Here's my stat for you, and this is one we haven't read, never talked about. So, passer rating, right? It goes to 153. Just so we're not talking QBR. This is just strictly passer rating. And we always talk about accuracy and passer rating sometimes. When Cam Newton has a passer, his all-time record is 63 and 45. Okay? 63 and 45. When Cam Newton has a passer rating of 100 plus, which is good, he's 25 and 2. Passer rating. When he has a passer rating of 100 plus, he's 25 and 2. That means when you throw the ball well in the NFL, it looks like you win a lot of games. When he doesn't throw the ball well, he's got a losing record by 17 games.
Wow.
When Cam does not throw the ball well, 15 games. Sorry, I forgot to take the 2 off of the end of that. 38 and 43. I did 7 games. I can't do any math today whatsoever. 38 and 43, 5 games under 500 when he doesn't throw 100% or 100. So,
well, really, not only that. I mean, you said 38 and 43, right?
Losing record.
So that's 38 and 43. Is it what? 81 games. 25 and 2 is 27.
Yeah, it's
games.
81 games.
So that's what I'm saying. You've got only that's a third of the games. You've got 27 games where he's had a passer rating of over 100, as opposed to 81 where it's been sub 100.
27 to 81. So 27 over 100. He's won 25 of them. 81 under 100, he's only won 38 of them.
Yeah.
So you know, you can talk about your rating and defend it all you want, but you gotta be able to be efficient and throw the ball around the NFL. And go ahead, Terry.
Well, I know when we was talking last week and we seen each other text. At one time, I even sent you a text saying he's throwing off his back foot again.
Yeah.
You know, and I saw that a couple times.
He almost stepped in my beer a couple times trying to throw that ball deep.
And I'm like, you know, and we talk about that every year.
Off his back foot.
Off his back foot. And he missed the receiver on that play. But, you know, I mean, that's Cam. You know, we all know that the defense is what leads Carolina. You know, Cam is
in the running game.
And Cam, and don't get me wrong, he's got a power running game when he takes it himself.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, he's a big guy, hard guy to bring down. He's like a Ben Roethlisberger, but Ben Roethlisberger don't have the speed, and, you know, and to move like he does. But he's a tough guy to bring down, and I give him credit. When he scored, he jumped on his little pony and went riding. So, you know.
All right, we got one more game to talk about from last week. The undefeated Terry.
16-1.
Are the Cowboys undefeated?
The Rams are.
Terry, are the Cowboys undefeated? Are the Pittsburgh Steelers? They are undefeated.
They're undefeated.
Are the Saints undefeated? What about the Chargers, Texans, Giants?
I think all them teams that lost last week.
No, all them teams lost. You know who didn't lose last week?
The LA Rams.
The Cleveland Browns.
16-1 over their last 17.
Undefeated.
Their best start since 2004.
The best start since 2004.
And it's the best.
They didn't win.
The best thing about it is, think about it, and they're on the bottom. They're still looking up.
Now, Terry, what place is Dallas in?
We're in last.
And Cleveland is not in
No, you're in last.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are.
We're in third.
You are in last.
Third. Third place, Terry.
I think Pittsburgh and Cleveland tied.
Well, if the Browns were in the NFC East, what place will the Cowboys in? What place will the Browns be in?
I want to go back to another figure you brought up.
No, if we've switched the Giants and then we switch the Browns,
I want to pull up
place
another figure you brought up, something that you showed just a minute ago, and it says like the total defense, and we only played 1 week, but 4 of the NFC East is in the top 7.
Yeah,
think of that.
All 4 of the
all
NFC
4 of them are up there in the top
Carolina,
7.
Atlanta, and Green Bay. So there you go, ahead of Jacksonville. That's in yards. Terry's talking about.
Yeah, that's
yards.
what I'm saying. That's in total.
Looking at the Terry, you're so silly sometimes.
I'm just saying what I see on this board.
So back to Cleveland.
You're looking up.
Back to Cleveland. They didn't get beat by a team that a lot of people picked win the Super Bowl.
No.
Whether they have Le'Veon Bell or not, his backup had 28 fantasy points, so I don't know exactly what else more Le'Veon Bell would have done.
Le'Veon Bell would have probably been 2 touchdowns.
Oh, gosh. Sorry, Terry. I had 28 fantasy points. I can pitch in a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's teams that have given up less than 20 points so far this year. Baltimore, and keep in mind, has done it in 2 games, so keep in mind about that defense. Keep an eye on them. Washington, Carolina, Philadelphia, Rams, Jacksonville, Dallas, Minnesota, Jets, and Atlanta and Baltimore. So those teams giving up less than 20. Remember, the threshold is 24. That's the magic number I always look at in an NFL game. Looking at some of the standings real quick. Let's go down the schedule real quick, do some picks, okay? I'm going to pick this week, so I got my paper in front of me that I've been doing. All right, here we go. We'll skip that one for last. We'll start with Monday. We'll back up. Monday Night Football. Seahawks and Bears.
Is it at Chicago or
at Chicago?
Man, this game's going to be ugly, Terry.
Which team shows up? The Chicago of the first half or Chicago of the second half? Mac, and I'm going to say this about Mac. You would have thought all world was out there in the first half.
He was.
But when Green Bay come out after halftime, I don't know what kind of adjustments you made, but I know he ended up having another pick, but you really never heard of him. He was doing nothing.
Poor Terry. 2 picks and
And a touchdown.
Touchdown ain't good enough. He ain't do nothing for you.
He did nothing in the second
Terry's
half.
a Julius Peppers fan from back in the day.
When you let a crippled Aaron Rodgers sit out there and eat you alive. Come on.
Oh, goodness. Terry, for $19, the cheapest ticket in the NFL, Giants at Cowboys.
Well, we got to
That's
get
a
back
big
to our
game.
picks.
That's
We
a
gotta
big
get back
game.
to our picks.
All the well, that's what we're doing. This is the picks. Who you got?
That's a big game, Terry. Whoever loses goes to 0-2.
Dallas will win.
I mean, man. Odell Beckham Jr. had he had six catches for 100 yards. He reeled up 60 yards of penalties on Jalen Ramsey. I don't know if Dallas if they can hold him in check, to be quite honest. I'm going to pick at the Giants, man.
Oakland Raiders at the Denver Broncos.
Denver.
I think Oakland, they're going to have trouble with good defenses this year.
I agree.
Detroit at San Francisco.
Matt Patricia, you bring in a defensive coordinator and he gives up 40-plus points in his home opener.
Yeah, I'm picking 49ers.
Yeah, don't forget all your new coaches last week were 0-7.
Mm-hmm.
Did we pick New England at Jacksonville? I skipped them.
We have not yet.
No, I'm going to go. I'm going to go San Francisco.
Jaguars.
Who'd you go, Terry?
He picked 49ers.
Yeah.
Patriots at Jaguars.
Yeah.
Oh, and this one, Patriots.
Yeah, I think it'll be the Patriots, but I think it'll be pretty close.
I got Jags at home. Early season, pick a lot of teams at home. It wouldn't surprise me if New England won. I'm just gonna go in the heat of Jacksonville. I'm gonna take that they run the ball and win by 3, even though the New England will probably win by 25. So that wouldn't surprise me. Cardinals will get beat by 40 by the Rams.
40-10.
That's
calling it right now.
Carson score. Terry, you got upset with the Cardinals?
No.
Yeah, no, you don't, Terry.
Colts at the Redskins. Do the Skins start 2-0?
Yes, they do.
I think if Andrew Luck threw 52 times in week 1, they're going to throw him 50 times again, and I think he'll get better. I'm picking the Colts.
All right.
I hope so.
I've got the Redskins.
I do too.
I got the Redskins at home. Eagles at Buccaneers. Does the Fitz magic continue in Tampa?
No. Philly's defense is too good.
Tampa Bay wins.
Terry.
Go to 2-0.
Terry.
Tampa 2-0, according to Mr. Reinhardt. Is Shannon sitting in here? Somebody said something crazy. I'm picking on you, Shannon. Kansas City Chiefs at Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers don't want to go down 0-2.
No.
But Kansas City's got an explosive offense.
Without Bell, they might.
Mm-hmm. I'm picking Kansas City.
I'm
I don't
going to
know.
take Pittsburgh. I just can't see them losing another one to go to 0-1-1.
The only one I know of, and I know it's happened, so it's at least a fact. I don't know if it's the only one. I think it's the only one. That team that started 0-2 won the Super Bowl was Dallas Cowboys when Emmett.
Yeah, that was the year. Yep.
And Emmett also, what's neat about that season though, he also came back and won MVP in 14 games.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Barry Sanders was playing then, Terry, so they can eat up on that one too. So yeah, they don't want that. They don't want that problem. 0-2. Miami at New York.
That's gonna be the worst game of the day.
New York Jets.
How many interceptions? Over under 4
combined for both teams.
Yeah. You take it over under 4.
Set it at 4.5.
You would have said 4.5.
4.5
or 3.5 is what.
4.5.
I bet Vegas has got. Vegas got 3.5 or 4.5 picks.
3.5 would probably be more reasonable.
Tannehill and Darnold's going to throw it to the other team. And there's 2 different shades of green out there. Good grief.
God, yeah.
I'm taking the Jets.
I think I got to take Miami in that one.
All right. Here's the game of the day. By most watched in America, probably. The Cleveland Browns at New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans stomps them.
New Orleans going by 30. They're mad about getting stomped in week 1.
Here's the problem. Baker Mayfield's not starting. I think they got to get him in there and get some points. Tyrod.
Already calm.
Now, here's the thing. Tyrod can beat half the NFL. He can't outscore the Saints. Saints only lost last week because the defense gave up 48. Let's not remember. They scored 40. So
Cleveland can't score 40.
That's what I'm saying. Tyrod Taylor's not scoring 40. That's why I said Baker could score 40.
He can score 40 in Oklahoma. I'm not going to believe he can do it in the NFL until he does it.
They're not. Tyrod's not getting 40. However, Josh Gordon on the turf may put up $150 here.
He could.
And it might not even matter. Be ready for big Josh Gordon Day this weekend, though.
I will say one thing. Kaiser from Green Bay wish he was back in Cleveland after what he went through last week.
He did the same thing he always did, was throw it to the other team.
He says, my God, I'm glad you come back.
Terrible. Go back to Notre Dame. Houston at Tennessee.
Houston. Yeah.
Nobody wants to pick the new Navy. It'll be a battle of navy blue helmets.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings at Green Bay.
Minnesota.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Both of you.
The defense is too good.
$132 a ticket. That's the highest one in the NFL, I think. Chargers at Bills.
Chargers. And I am glad I have the Chargers defense on my fantasy team because Josh Allen's going to throw 3 interceptions.
You're going to be mad when Buffalo puts 40 on them. After the Chargers fly.
They'll put 40 on them in 4 weeks.
After the Chargers fly across country into Buffalo.
Chargers have a hard time when they do come across country, but I don't think you're playing Buffalo.
Phillip Rivers had a big game last week, and you're playing Buffalo. Buffalo is the new Cleveland.
All right, here we go. Game of the week. I've said it 7 times already. Game of the week. Panthers at Falcons. Did the Panthers start 2-0 and the Falcons? I asked earlier, is it a 24-23 type game or is it going to be high scoring? What do you think, Terry?
I'm sorry, Shannon. You're 1-1.
I think Atlanta wins 24-21.
Atlanta can't go down 0-2 and them 2-0.
No.
Yeah, that'd be tough. According to our picks, everyone in the NFL this week is going to be 1-1. We'll be back in a minute on K3C Broadcasting. JP,
except the Rams.
JP. He tells me he's listening, and then he just showed me a sign for the break, and then now he's not listening to the break.
Can I throw something?
We was going to go to break. I'm just going to keep talking.
Can I throw
to
something?
JP here? He's not going to hear me. No, that is a weird window. It is very thin. All right, so we're going to keep it.
We need a Nerf gun.
Until he looks up.
That's what you need, a Nerf gun. A Nerf gun with a good suction.
If the people are watching whoever's watching on YouTube right now, you see JP down the corner in his flash shirt, not paying attention to a word we're saying to him right now. He's got his earbuds in. He's probably watching something with Star Wars. What do you think, Terry?
Well, I'm not going to say a word.
Well, let's give the scores from this week while JP while the flash wakes up.
All right, in high school football from this past week, from Wednesday through Friday, it was North Lincoln defeating Bessemer City 20-6. This score went to 0-0 at the half.
Yeah.
And North Lincoln comes out on top 20-6. Burns with a wild finish up at Hendersonville, and they win 56-55. Weddington over Crest 31-21. It was East Lincoln 49, East Gaston 9, and Shelby with a big win last night, 28-23 over Kings Mountain.
Ashbrook falls down in South Carolina, 40-18 against Clover. Highland Tech moves to 3-0 for just the second time in school history with a 50-6 win over Christ the King. South Point stays undefeated against the Stuart Cramer Storm, 33-7, and East Rutherford moves into that number 1 spot on our power poll with a 34-7 win over Patton.
It was West Lincoln 48, East Burke 0. West Lincoln for the 8th time in school history goes to 4-0. It was Union Academy 28, Northside Christian 6. It was Thomas Jefferson 49, Calhoun Falls Charter 18. It was Avery County winning their first game of the year with a 32-28 win over Drone. And West Wilkes shuts out Bunker Hill 21-0.
High Brighton stays on top in the 2A with a 63-19 win over Newton Conover. On Wednesday, Hickory with a come-from-behind close win over Bandy's 28-27 to give the Trojans their first loss on the year. South Caldwell picks up their first win, a 50-32 win over the RS Central Hilltoppers. Fred T. Ford also with their first win, 38-22 over St. Stephen's, and North Iredale with the squeaker, 10-9 over West Iredale. That'll take us to a commercial break. We'll be right back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk, only on KTC Broadcasting.
Dr. John L. Cloninger III of Lincolnton will brighten your smiles with professional cosmetic dentistry and smile enhancement procedures for everyone. Even Duke fans will smile at the work of this Tar Heel. The office of Dr. John L. Cloninger III is located at 904 Doncha Drive. For an appointment, call 704-735-0765. That's 704-735-0765. And John III says best wishes to all high school athletes.
Maybe a punctuation mark on a career night.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with Dustin Lynch, who was just invited to become a member of the Grand Ole Opry.
It still feels a little weird because I feel like I'm just getting started, and I hold being a member of the Opry at the top of the mountain.
That's Dustin Lynch this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA with Lon Helton, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country, 1590 AM WCSL and 92.3 FM. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Green flag is out.
Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
We have a car in the fence. It's Christopher Bell.
It's the DC Solar 300.
Trouble at turn 2. Vinnie Miller spins it.
Here's a battle for the lead. Hemrick looks inside of Christopher Bell as they go to one. Now he nearly slips up and gets into Reed. Also getting out of shape, Daniel Hemrick.
Shane Lee gets into the outside wall and brings out a caution.
The DC Solar 300. Saturday, September 15th at 4:30.
The DC Solar 300 from Las Vegas, Saturday afternoon at 4:30 on Carolina Country, WCSL 1590 AM, 92.3 FM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com. They've got them all. At Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, they've got Ford, Chevrolets, Buicks, Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, Kias, GMC trucks, and more. What are we talking about? We're talking about the huge used car selection at Renato Auto Mall. Before you buy, come see Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And they are now your SUV headquarters. Over 50 to choose from, new and used, all makes, all models, and 10 to choose from, priced at under $10,000 at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, online at RenatoAutomall.com.
Isolated and alone?
That's how millions of Americans feel while experiencing a mental health crisis.
Need to talk? Our providers love to listen.
Call us now at 1-888-235-HOPE.
That's 1-888-235-4673.
Partners, improving lives and strengthening communities in North Carolina. 1-888-235-HOPE. 235-4673.
Mark Greenhalgh here for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Catch us every Wednesday from 11 to noon right here on WCSL 1590. Golf Shop Radio is driven by Fred Caldwell Chevy, home of the Silverado guys.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
We'll start the weekend mainly cloudy and windy today with an increasing chance of rain.
All right, I hope we'll get the radio, everything situated in a little bit. I'll call Calvin to make sure. We got going over to a little overtime real quick. KTC broadcast Major League Baseball. Kind of skipped over that and got a couple news and notes real quick. In the Boston's clinched. In the American League, no one's clinched.
That's the only one. Yeah. But there's really not any races in the AL. I mean, look at those playoff percentages. You've got 100 for the Red Sox, obviously, 99.9 for the Yankees, 99.9 for the Indians, 99.9 for the Astros and the A's. So there's not really a race in the AL.
And I think everybody's in. Everything's over. Red Sox, Yankees will be in. Cleveland will be in, and Houston and A's will be in. Now it's just a matter of fact of getting organized on who's playing who. Mm-hmm. Over the National League, though, it's a little bit different. Braves looks like they're in.
Magic number's under 10 now. They're at
7.5. That's always a good number when your magic number matches whatever games are they're behind and right near it.
Yeah.
Central. Cubs up a game and a half in Milwaukee. They're still fighting it out. Cardinals still fighting for a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
Rockies, Dodgers, and Diamondbacks in a three-way fight out west. And they're all going to beat each other up here in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And one, if only one of those come out of the there for a playoff spot, that'll be good news for St. Louis.
Yeah.
Because I mean we'll probably be in, but let's see. Check out the wild card standings to be sure. Mariners are 8.5 out of the AL wild card.
Yeah.
Brewers are 4 games up on the Cardinals, who are still in technically and tied with the Dodgers. They're playing the Dodgers right now. Diamondbacks 3 games out, Phillies 5 out. So pretty much Cardinals, Dodgers, Diamondbacks battling for that last spot right now. And we'll see if the money in L.A. overcomes the baseball town in St. Louis. Any other comments, guys, before we go to the last few news and notes on that? Any of that?
Well, I mean,
any other baseball things you want to talk about?
I think really with, the end of the season coming up, you've got 40-man rosters. You've got all these kids coming up. I like watching, the last couple weeks of the season just to see, a team like Cincinnati or somebody like that who's completely out of it, and they can go and steal one from a team that's in playoff contention or a team that's vying for either a division versus a wild card spot. I like that kind of thing. I mean, I think that keeps it interesting, especially like we talked about in the AL when basically everything is already sewn up.
Yeah, and one other thing too, I'll notice. I know I always keep up. Yeah, it's bad. I keep up with the bottom of Major League Baseball, but I know we finally.
You got to look at something, Terry.
Yeah,
we're beating the Orioles.
I know. Well, we finally pulled away from the Orioles a little bit.
Pulled away.
That's right, buddy. But we're so far ahead, and I wanted to go back and I checked on. Wanted to go back and see what was the worst team ever in Major League Baseball. Well, you always go back to the 1800s, and it was a team, and their last name they ended up giving them the Perfectos. But one of the reasons they did that, they ended up giving away Cy Young and a lot of players away from this team. But they only won like 20 games that year, and they finished with like 136 losses. But they called themselves the Perfectos, and they wondered what in the world. But they finished like 85 games out of first.
Oh, boy.
And they was like 25 games behind the team that finished in front of them.
Lord.
So, just to go back in history.
All right, some screenshots from the week. I like to go over some things and news and notes. Division I conferences by losses. How about this? Number one conference in America with the least number of losses, only one loss, the Ivy League. Big 12 and SEC have 5. That's second place. Big 10, Pac-12, Big South, PFL 7, NEC 8, ACC, Sunbelt, MVFC 9. If some of you understand those letters, because I don't.
Missouri Valley Football
Number
Conference.
10 with 10 losses, Patriots, SoCon. Let's see if any of those. Conference USA is worse with 17 losses on the season. I had one more news. Here's some Cowboys and Panthers notes, Terry. Interesting stat. Average pass from Cam traveled 5.9 yards downfield. The lowest in any game in the past 5 seasons for him. Here's my favorite Tony Romo, Dak Prescott stat of the day.
Jeez. Give up. Just give up, man. He's not coming back.
He's not coming.
He's in the booth. He's got to deal with Corona now. He's selling beer.
It's so terrible.
He's just like Jerry Jones now. He's selling beer.
So, Romo played 126 games, Terry. In 12 of those games, he didn't throw a touchdown. Dak Prescott in 32 games has already had 10 games without a touchdown.
So he can still beat that record.
Yeah, the next 115 games, Dak Prescott has to throw a touchdown to tie Romo's record.
I got a good one for you, Terry. Dak Prescott, do you know that first season, you know what his record was as a rookie? His starting record.
The first season?
His first season. That
rookie,
like
6-3 or something.
11-2.
11-1.
Okay.
Since then, do you know what his record is?
It's probably even.
11-11.
That's what I thought.
There you go. That one was free. I didn't even need a screenshot.
You didn't even need a screenshot. I was trying to find some. I thought I had another. Oh, here's a good one for you. Here's a Browns one for you, Terry. The Browns were +5 in takeaways. Since the Browns returned to the NFL, teams with a turnover margin of +5 or better are 132, 4, and 1.
And 1.
The Browns have 2 of those losses.
and the one tie. And the tie.
There you go.
Browns football.
+5, 132, 4, and 1.
So
Browns
they take
have 2
up
losses.
half of the losses and the tie.
So all the other NFL teams in NFL history, well, I guess they probably got some wins in there or something.
Congratulations, Tom, on them Cleveland Browns and you and Kevin.
Yeah, I told you that one. I did see in the bathroom while at Bank of America Stadium, someone wrote the "Hail to the Redskins" slogan on in the bathroom. Just
they had my name up there again.
That's your name.
Hail to
the Redskins. All right. I think that's going to wrap it up. Some fun stuff there. Any other news notes, serious notes? Let's talk next week's schedule real quick. KTC Broadcasting. I'm going to have to read this as a guest. Burns at Ashbrook will have that game on KTC Broadcasting. You can watch that. You can watch Crest hosting Forest View as well. Shelby's got an open week, so that means we'll be Kramer at Kings Mountain. Carson, you may be involved in that. I'm still waiting on confirmation from Jeff and Brent whether or not they're going to do that or not. But we're going to have Kings Mountain hosting Stuart Kramer, I think is what that is. I think I got the schedule wrong on that. Also, Cherville Ironman football will pick up again with Thomas Jefferson at Thomas Jefferson for both those teams. Playoff implications, divisional implications as well. In our Lincoln County game of the week, and I don't know it off the top of my head, but I'm going to see if I can guess.
I think it's West Lincoln at North
It
Lincoln.
is West Lincoln at North Lincoln, so we'll be back. It won't be Milton and Danny back at North Lincoln, but it'll be Tim and Ken and Hunter up at North Lincoln for the West Lincoln-North Lincoln matchup. So that's it on KTC. We'll have racing today and tomorrow. We've got Braves as well and Carolina Panthers football as well tomorrow. I want to thank Carson Dockery, Terry Reinhardt, everyone on YouTube. JP, you with us now? Everyone on YouTube watched you a minute ago watching. What was you watching? High School Musical? Is that what you were watching?
Lip Sync Battle.
I was close.
Well, I mean, they did lip sync in the movie.
Well, it was Avengers Infinity War Lip Sync Battle.
Terry, did you understand one of the words that JP just said in that sentence?
I died.
That did not surprise me.
You got battle, didn't you?
Darth Vader, what would he say?
That's right.
You got battle.
Yeah. Okay.
No, we'll see y'all next week on Cameras and Saturday Sports Talk by KDCBroadcasting.com.
Quitting time? Who says it's quitting time? I said it's quitting time. I was the foreman. I was the one says when it's quitting time at Terra. Quitting time! Quitting time!
We'll start the weekend mainly cloudy and windy today with an increasing chance of rain and heavy showers associated with Florence. Flash